Well, hey everybody, how are you today? I thought we would do a little mining tonight, and I'm really excited to be back from vacation. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. How are you tonight? How's everybody doing? I was on vacation, but I have now returned, and man, I've got a lot of mining I need to get done over the next few weeks. So, we're going to have some fun. Hey, Geesley, how are you tonight? Nice to see you, Geesley. How you been, sir? And we are gonna just go ahead and do what we can here to go out and do a little Quantanium mining tonight. So, hey, Curious, happy to see you're streaming. Thank you very much, Curious993. Nice to see you. Appreciate it. We're just gonna do some basics tonight. Pyro says, evening, been a while. How's the mining been? Pyro, the mining has been a little slow. I was on vacation last week, so I haven't been around, but I'm starting to get around now. Mauricio, how are you? Nice to see you. How you been, Mauricio? Nice to see you so much. So let's go ahead and get started tonight, guys. We're gonna do a little Quantanium mining, and I will be honest. Everybody has come and talked to me about how kind of it's very slow. There's lots of unscannable rocks, and they're not wrong. I mean, there's lots of unscannable rocks. Good to go on this end. Hope all is well on your side. Thank you, Geesley. All is doing well. It was a great vacation. Happy to be back. And to kind of get back into the swing of things here for sure. So, and Jaguar, welcome to the channel. How are you? Nice to see you. Good evening. So yeah, I have the Atlas drive on board. I do have the two VAUX C3s. So one VAUX C3, another VAUX C3, and a Rieger C3. And that's what I'm going to start with tonight. And with that in mind, we're just going to hit the Iron Halo and just kind of do some basics. Really kind of just get back to basics and see if we can't, locate a little bit of something to mine tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this Prospector, and off we're going to go. So yeah, nice to see everybody. Good evening, for sure. And sorry I've been away a little bit, kind of definitely had a little bit of a vacation hang or two there. And excited to be back, for sure. So, right back at it, right where we left off, right? All right, so the Prospector's in here. Mauricio says, that's my setup. Nice, Mauricio, that's cool. Oh boy, look at, we're off to the races. Oh no. The Prospectors are always so jumpy on the pad, so it's so funny. And I've actually, it's so funny. The very first time I logged into 317.2, the Prospector does that, you know what I mean? And has been doing different variations of that kabuki dance. And tonight is no difference. We'll make sure we throw a few repairs on before we go out the door. Yeah, it's a good setup. I kind of like it. It's fairly simple. All right, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to need to throw at least a little repair on here and see what we get. And you can see we're kind of not lined up on the pad. Evo says, need any help? I finally got Star Citizen to work. Evo, I'm just going to do a little bit of solo mining tonight, sir. I appreciate the offer, but just kind of getting in the swing of things tonight. And I'm sure we'll find some time in the future where you and I can do a little mining together. That'd be awesome. Jag says, I just purchased the CO Nomad so I can finally take it rock mining. I really like the Nomad as a rock hauler. It's cool, and the rock backs in very smoothly onto that back ramp, and yeah, I think the Jaguar is an excellent pairing for the ROC. So great purchase. I like the Nomad. It's a sneaky cool ship, and yeah. Anyways, Rusty Long says, hello, sir. How are you, Rusty? Nice to see you. Evo says, okay, let me know. So yeah, we're just going to head over to towards ARC-L3 here and drop out at 11.5, 11.4. I'm going to roll the VTOLs here. Up we go. We are going to go ahead and pull the gear. I'm going to kind of double check a couple things, make sure that I'm looking good here. Little pre-flight stuff, and out we go. So real simple here. We're just going to head over to the Iron Halo and go ahead and get started. So, get a pivot on this guy. And I'll just fly over here and we'll clear the pad a little bit. And we'll spool up the drive and hit it. Hey, Moonraker, nice to see you, Moon. How you been? Nice to see you for sure. All right, off we go. So, yeah, you know, lots of folks have been saying to me, hey, V, you know, there's lots of unscannable rocks, and I don't disagree. There has been a lot of unscannable rocks in the Halo, more than I think it was as even that we've been traditionally used to. And that's just me being as bluntly honest as possible. That being said, you know, still hoping to have some good success here in Halo. Rusty asks a great question. Are you finding that 80% of the rocks are unscannable? It is up there pretty good, Rusty. I mean, it's, you know, whether or not it's quite 80, I don't necessarily know, but man, it's true. It's very true. You know, Moonraker says he's doing well and hope I had a good vacation. I did have a good vacation, you guys. I drove through the I went to North Carolina on the west side of North Carolina and drove through the Blue Ridge Mountains in southern Virginia, North Carolina, or, you know, western Virginia, West Virginia, and then western regular Virginia, and then southern part of Virginia as well, and then, you know, in North Carolina. And really did like the Blue Ridge Parkway. It was absolutely beautiful. This time of year, would highly recommend anybody to go over that way. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and spent a lot of time in the pool, and spent a lot of time kind of looking at some beautiful nature stuff in the mountains there. So, love that. All right, so we're going to drop out of here, 11.5, 11.4. We're going to keep ARC-L3 as our quantum marker as we go. So I'm just kind of getting in range here. Let's see here, 11.54. All right, boom. And this is a good place to drop out, as good as any. I like to kind of turn up the velocity just a little bit. And Julio up here says, hey, from Portugal. Hey, Julio, how are you? Nice to see you. Rusty says, I think it has to do with the streaming of assets. If I bed log, it seems that all the rocks in the immediate area are unscannable until I move and the new ones load in. That's a very interesting point, Rusty, for sure. Hey, Ramoin says, Space Shorts and Moonraker. Hey, how was the vacation? It was really good, Ramoin. Thank you for asking. Happy to have me back in the verse. I'm happy to be back for sure. Hey, Morvib, good evening, my friend. How are you, sir? Nice to see you. Hope that you're doing well. Last time I watched you, you were 700 subs, and boy, did you grow fast. Thank you, Jag. I have been very blessed to have some excellent support and some people that have been very kind to me, you know, and really have you know, understand that you know, it's been very lucky in that capacity. So, you know, for sure. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and pop open the laser here, and we're gonna kind of just see what we have out there as far as opportunity markers go. Looks like there's a few. We're going to collapse our scan, and let's see what we're going to have here. That's going to be an E-type. Off this way, what do we have? Hey, Q-type right off the way. Maybe a little miner's luck. Let's go ahead and head on in. I'm going to roll this back to a 90-degree scan and kind of keep pinging these. Morvib says, doing good. That's good to hear, brother. For sure. Oh, here's a tip. Fly one direction and go decoupled. Then all you have to do is look around and you won't slow down. That's a good point, Rusty. It's actually funny that you should say that. I was thinking about that. The one thing that would kind of scare me when I'm doing it is maybe not necessarily looking out in front of me as often as I should. But I might try that for sure, Rusty. And I think that's a great idea. Moonraker's, you know, saying nice things to you, Ramoin. You know, 10 more likes would kind of match the viewing figure. Yeah, that's exactly right. I appreciate that, sir. So, yeah, here we go. Looks like there's at least one rock here. Maybe more than one, but maybe just one. It looks like there might be two, actually. All right, so first Q-types of the night. Let's see what we got. This first one doesn't look like it's going to be a great rock. It's probably going to be around, I don't know, maybe a 6 or 7% or something. Maybe not even that good. This one here is not going to be great either. Hey, Grifter, how are you? Hey, how's everyone doing? Yeah, we're doing great, man. That's a blue cap right there, a 2%er. I think this one's going to be slightly better than a 2%er, but probably not that great, to be honest. Drax has got my RAM to 32 gigabytes, now just saving for the starter pack. That's awesome, Drax. Good for you, 3.46% there. That's absolutely fantastic. And so here we go. We are heading out Badonk's Lab. How come you're able to scan from so far away? I found that with my Prospector, I can only see what type it is from 2,800 away. So Badonk, that's an excellent question here. So watch. This has to do with, if you watch on the left-hand side of the UI, and this is what I'm talking about over there. If you watch on that left-hand side of the UI, you can see the scan angle, right? So if I have a scan angle of 179 degrees, I'm going to send out a ping. So then I'm going to have opportunity markers that pop up, right? Then I'm going to close that scan angle down to 2 and ping again when I'm right over it. And notice it says the scan results right there. It's a p-type. So that's how you're able to do it, is you have to use the scan angle in order at those distances to get those types. So that's a p-type right there. And it's up to 12.2 km. That you can get those, Badonk. And so that's how you do that, right? It's one of those things where learning the scanning mechanic can really save you quite a bit of time. Ramoyne says, actually doing okay, just waiting for word from the hospital. Soon I get the all clear, all surgery can go ahead and I will know. The bad and ugly of... Ramoyne, I did not know you were... I don't recall us talking about that, or maybe... I didn't know you were in the hospital, sir, or in and around the hospital. I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to put you in my thoughts and prayers immediately, my friend. I hope that everything's okay. And you know what? I know, we've had a couple people there's a Q type right there. A couple people over the course of the life of the channel have been in and out of the hospital a little bit. So thank you for sharing that. That helps me know that that's a thing, sir. And I can definitely put you in my daily thoughts, and that means a lot to me that you'd say something. So I hope that everything works out the way that it should. And you've always been a very, very good friend of the channel, sir. So it means a lot to me to know that. So Jag says, what do you think the best settings are for FPS on Star Citizen, or at least make it smoother? Well, those are pretty straightforward for me, Jag. What I do on the graphics is I really turn all this stuff off. Film grains a no, chromatic aberrations a no, sharpening is 0, 0, V-sync's off, motion blur's off. I do have a high field of view, and I do have the rest of the things very high, very high. But that's what I do for my FPS. And so I think I'm at a 90 scan here. They're right out here, these rocks. They're not far from here. Grifter says, oh man, surgery sucks. Just had a benign tumor removed from my face. It sucked. Good luck and God bless. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Griff. I'm glad to hear it's benign, though, sir. Oh, that makes sense, says Badonk. I've always thought it was some type of module or something. I hate traveling all the way over the rock to just see that it's unscannable. That's exactly right, Badonk. That's what you're looking to avoid, right, is having to drive all the way up to the rock to find out that it's not something you can actually look at. So if you send out a ping, Badonk, and it does not actually give you a scan result, don't even fly towards it. This is not going to be a good rock, you guys. This is going to be another kind of low-end, low-capacity kind of thing. Yep, and you can see right there, just a low-end kind of thing. This is probably going to be another 2%er, nothing special at all. And off we go. Ramoyne says a Jaguar LOL scene is the frame rate is so inconsistent across the game. There's very little doing until... Yeah, Ramoyne is absolutely right. I mean, there's not a lot of optimizations in the game right now, and trying to squeeze FPS out. So there's not a lot of stuff that you can do to kind of fix some things. See how this one here, Badonk, I'm hitting it with a ping, but it's not. It's turning into a diamond icon, but it's not giving me any scan results. I know that that's an unscannable, and I'm not even going to approach it. So I'm not going to waste my time approaching it at all. Here's another situation. Now, they do run in chunk bundles, too. I mean, I tend to find you just have to keep flying, keep heading towards your quantum marker, and just keep on moving for sure. So it's one of those things that they do. You will have times when they just won't scan. It's just one of those things. So that is a P-type right there. And that is an M-type. And right over there, that is an M-type as well. Rusty says, don't know if it's been asked, but are you able to explain what the modules you're using do and the advantage that they have, please? Yeah, so the VAUX C3s reduce the instability by 10% each. So the Lancet reduces by 75% the instability. The VAX C3s reduce it by an additional 10% each, which isn't great, but it's not bad considering it's something that you don't have to replace. And then the Rieger actually opens up the optimal window a touch. It makes the green optimal window bigger. So that's what and they are passives. They don't have any charges or attempts, which is one of the things that I do like about these particular ones. So, anyways, yeah. Hope that answers that question. Grifter says, I have issues with frame rate as well. Not that my rig is a NASA PC in the upper end of the mid-tier, but I'll have an FPS crash on me pretty often. Yeah, the FPS, like Ramoin was saying, there's a lot of optimizations that need to take place in Star Citizen in order for things to get a little better along those lines. But, hey, I mean, it's not a terrible thing at all. It's just one of those things where the game's not optimized. So Ramoin says, Space Short, sorry to cause you concern. Basically, I've been diagnosed as having bladder cancer. I was due to have surgery to remove the cancer growths from my bladder, but have an E. coli infection. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm very sorry to hear that, Ramoin. I know that my mom has been battling cancer. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's a very, very difficult road, and obviously, that's one of those things where just lean on family as much as you can, and understand that there are people out here that that care about you. Absolutely, and you keep me posted on how you're progressing. I am interested for sure, and it's no alarm. I mean, all of us are going to face things like that, sir. And so I'll be thinking about you for sure. That's a tough one, and strikes, like I said, pretty near and dear to my heart. My mom has really kind of been battling it for a couple of years, and and really is has a lot of good days and a lot of bad days, and it's a tough situation. The instability is how much the white bar jumps about. That's exactly correct, Rusty. The instability is that. Now I found a little Quantanium cluster here of 4, and that's exactly right. The charge level will bounce quite a bit up and down. The resistance means like how much laser power it's going to take to break and so. Anyways, yeah. That's a 2%er there. Yep. And that's going to be a 2%er there. And this is going to be probably a fairly nice rock. Yep, this is a 4933. So that's a good rock. And what about this guy here? Let's go ahead and take a look. This one's not going to be great either. Kind of got in the way, so now I've completed the course of treatment for the E. coli. Now I'm waiting to confirm that I have a clear for the surgery. Once the surgery is done, and Ramoin's going to type a little more. And getting that stuff out of your body is, awesome. Hey, Andreas. How are you? Hey, guys. Hey, hey, Mass. How are you tonight, sir? Sigurd says, so there isn't a difference between laser power and resistance when buying modules? Well, laser power and resistance, kind of how much power they have and how much resistance a rock has, definitely, can play a huge role. If the resistance is too high on a rock, you're not going to break it unless you have a very powerful laser. Mauricio says, you can do it, Ramoin. Be strong. I agree, man. Dig, just whatever it takes internally to dig it out. Let's get that stuff out of there, man, and let's just pray that it doesn't come back, brother, for sure. The new expanse will refine one, and the new expanse will on refine and not mine. Yeah, it will only refine, Grifter. That's exactly right. It's not going to have any mining capability on it at all, and so it's just going to be a ship where you haul the unrefined material too. So this is a nice rock, you guys. This is a 4933. Very nice rock. Ever think about getting another mining ship such as a mole? Or just take... Oh, Jag, we have a mole, and we use it all the time. But more in organization events and things like that, when like we use it as an extraction device for mining nights and that type of thing. That would be the time when I use the mole. And I love the mole. It's a great ship. It's a lot of fun. But for soloing, I definitely prefer the Prospector myself. Moonraker says, another thing I've been finding is as approaching a rock, it will present with a nice, tight, optimal area, but then only be 2% when I get to it. That does happen from time to time, Moon. Sometimes I get thrown off by that as well, where I'll be like, oh, this is going to be a good rock. And then I get up there and I'm like, what? It's not. This thing's garbage. You know, so once in a blue moon, I get caught by that too. I think it needs to be, it's a combination of things, Moon, when you're looking at it at first. It's how much red there is. Like, it needs to have a ton of red and then a tight optimal window. Those things. So how do you move the laser like that? So Rusty, what you do is you hit G. If I hit G, see, like right now it's locked, but if I hit G a couple of times, it loosens up it's the gimbal key, or G. It loosens up the laser head. That's how you do it. So, Ramoyne says, I will know how bad the actual cancer is. Oh. So until then, I'm not panicking, not stressing, not worrying. Yeah, you're not going to do your... Yeah, Ramoyne, that's a great place to be, where you're not... Because you know what? Your mind, and certainly mine anyways, could absolutely try and fill in all of those dark places where you don't know things with just bad things. So I think it's really smart for you to not take it one day at a time, not get ahead of yourself, deal with the information that you have at the moment, and understand, in the most respectful sense, no time, Ramoyne, no time ever, and I'm sure I may face it myself with my family history, no time ever is a good time to have cancer, but the best time in history to have cancer is today. You know, like, it's better than ever, the types of treatments that are available. So it's not to say that we're there yet, because it kills people every day, man. But you know something? That's a great attitude to have. I'm really proud of you for having that one. You have an Operation Nights. Why didn't anyone tell me, Evo? Gimbal. Yep. Magda Aberdeen Aerial. Grifters answering a question. Oh, what is the best planet to rock mine on? Aberdeen is absolutely the best, place. Nothing wrong with aerial, and also Daymar, like on the north and south poles, is very good for Hadnite as well. Macedon says, exactly. Never panic, brother. One day at a time. Focus your thoughts to being positive. I could not agree with Macedon more. And that is enough now on that subject. At least you were up to speed, Space Shorts. Thank you. You know what? I'm picking up what you're putting down, Ramoyne. I will just let you know that I will, you and I I'll be chatting with you from time to time, and we'll make sure we stay in communication about that, sir. Badong says, I feel like I keep discovering so much more about this game every time I watch your streams. Love your streams. Thank you, Badonk. That is so kind of you to say. I really enjoy mining in Star Citizen. And it does really make me happy when people do get some things out of it that they find is beneficial for them. So there's 6 SCU of pure Quantanium there. This is going to have nothing. This other one must be a fairly pure rock, I'm assuming, based on what I've seen so far. This is going to be a fairly pure rock. This is going to be 24 SCU of pure Quantanium right here. And then you've got 6 SCU, almost 7 SCU there. So 24, 7, so almost. So yeah, we have 3 rocks to break. These 3 don't have anything in it, and these 3 do. So let's break this 12%er down first. Then we'll do the other couple, and then we'll do a little scooping. So I like Magna just to mix up the way the moons look. Oh, Magna's so beautiful. You're exactly right. It's nice. You guys, I think it's okay to not always be so consumed with absolute profit that you never allow yourself to go someplace else or do something different. I absolutely think it's, okay to just do things a little different here and there and enjoy the time. You know what I mean? I think that's just fine. And, here we go here. We're just going to go ahead and crack these. Crack these for sure. Grifter, Aberdeen is cheddar, Ariel is Edom. That's hilarious. They're both cheesy. Yeah, that is really funny. There are some interesting hues on those planets for sure. Oh, I don't know. Yes, I am drinking a spot of coffee tonight. Hey, Nate, how are you, Nate? Nate says, "Good evening, Mr. V Shorts." Chaperoning my oldest and his girlfriend. Glad I could catch the stream. Chaperone. Little chaperone, keeping the kids honest. Hey, Nate, nicely done. LOL, very cheesy. Yeah, very cheesy. Says, I'm doing 4K missions just for fun, 30 minutes each. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, do things, listen, have fun. Everything's got to be fun first. In Star Citizen, have fun first. I mean, that's the most important thing, you know. And, you know, all this stuff is going to be wiped anyways here in the near future. You know, probably not even 100 days from now. So, you know, obviously, you know, have some goals, grind a little bit, but definitely have a lot of fun right now, you guys, for sure. Because it's definitely not permanent. I gave up today, 5 rocks, 4 huge lag spikes. Oh, no, that's terrible. And destroyed them. I'll try tomorrow. Andres, I've had days like that for sure. NV gives me a salute. How you doing, NV? Nice to see you. Griff says the original asker of where to Hadnite mine, make sure in Aberdeen or area it'll have Pembroke suit or you'll fry. Yeah, that's a good point. Griff is making an excellent point. If you are going to rock mine on Aberdeen, you'll definitely need a Pembroke suit. It is absolute French fry fire there. I mean, you'll get burnt, fried, and set aside. You know, that place is straight grumpy, you know, with the heat. So I agree 100% with Griff. He's absolutely right about that. You will get burnt to a crisp. I went out there one time and I did not have a Pembroke. You know, I just, for whatever reason, I thought I could just wear. I was like, oh, I could just get away with my gray cat set. No. You've got to have a Pembroke set there for sure. Rusty says I still do the 890 missions because they're fun. Yep. Hey, GG Gamer says hello. How are you, GG? Nice to see you tonight. Hope that you're doing well. This guy fell out. I'm going to push it up just a touch. And just kind of keeping it honest here. Notice it's a 2 instability. That's not terrible. It's not great. But it certainly is manageable. I am letting it flirt with the bottom of the optimum window more than, say, the top. And it is kind of falling out a little bit. So I'm force it up a touch again. Just trying to be almost, look at that. It's like literally got it up to 30% and it's all falling out of there. Entirely. No big deal. We'll have it here in just a sec. Let me focus on it a little bit. Back up to 30. 35. Pushed it up to. Definitely being a little volatile, but no big deal. Nothing we can't handle. And this is a nice 24 SEU here of, you know, Quantanium. So this is a nice chunk of change here for sure. All right, Badong says, wasn't Aberdeen only made so hot because some guy tested, I think, dark matter weapon? No, I don't know if that's, you might be right, Badong. I don't know about that particular thing. Griff says, go to missions when not the Prospector mining or cave missions. I bring a Cuddy Red and the Rock with me though. Yeah, that's a good way to do it for sure. And it seems like a guy named Archer, I know Griff does the same thing. Like he'll go do bunker missions out of his Prospector while he's looking around and kind of mix it up as he goes. And I love that idea. I think it's great. Clive Hughes says, how's your day going? Hoping all great. Got my head around mining with the Prospector. Had 6 full unicorns today. Clive Hughes. Clive, you've come a long way, sir. That is a very respectable day, my friend. That's fantastic. 6 unis. How about some unicorns for Clive, you guys? That's awesome. Gigi says, I use the mole. It's a bit crazy if you get used to it set up right. It's worth it. Yesterday I did 2 Prospector fulls, worth of quant. Wow, that's awesome. That is fantastic. That's a 99.9%. Item is 168. Welcome to the channel. I noticed that you don't use any cooldown mods. Obviously, there aren't any large rocks in the Halo, but you change your mods when... Yeah, I would change my mods sometimes if I go to Lyria Itemus for sure. It depends. I mean, I myself am kind of, I kind of like my meta a lot. I like having the control on the secondary breaks as much as, as much as kind of the first breaks. Hey, Ninja Slap, nice to see you, Ninja. How you been, sir? And, but yeah, I definitely don't, there are lots of people, Itemus, for instance, who like the like having the Surge and Stampede, and I don't blame them for that. I think the Surge and Stampede are great. Having that type of thing. So we are at 26 SCU, you guys. Let me go ahead and take a look at what's left here. There's one more rock over there that I think's a hundo. Actually, let me look around here. That's 100% barrel. Is this a hundo here? It might be. Anyway, LC and Lyrian not producing as much. Great question, Grift. I haven't been on Lyria enough to say whether or not it's... I think it would be super efficient if you take a Prospector break rocks and fly a Nomad with the rock behind the Prospector just to scoop it. That's a great idea, Andreas. We should try that one time. Prospector's already breaking the next rock. Yeah, it's a, prospecting, using the Prospectors to break the rocks is never a bad idea. So we're at 30 SCU, you guys. I think this is, not a bad run. I think that's going to be us. There's a little bit more in this. With half this rock is, we knew we weren't going to quite make it. It wasn't quite enough, but we are going to potentially hit 31 SCU or darn close to 31 SCU. So you know what? We're not going to complain there. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to head back towards CRUL1. Let me go ahead and set route here. Yep. And we'll just kind of back away from the rocks. I'll rotate over. I'll spool up the quantum drive and off we'll go. All right, your setup is limited to 5122 though. Yeah, Rusty, you can break on Lyria. I could break up to say like a 56 or a 5700. Really. Hey, by the way, 20 likes, you guys. Thanks so much for the 20 likes. I really appreciate that. You can break up to like 5800s or 5900s with the Lancet. You can't go much higher than that. But if obviously with Surges or Stampedes or other builds like Impact builds, you can break much bigger rocks. But in the air and Halo, you're never gonna run into anything that's any bigger than 5122. So it's never gonna be an issue out here. Let's see, Badonk's Lab, that wouldn't honestly surprise me. I have no idea as to the lore surrounding each of the moons of Stanton, but considering who owns each of the planets, corporate shady dealings. Yeah, Ramone's absolutely right. I could see Hurston definitely doing that. Grifter 244 Air and Halo. I'm aware of the Halo. I really only abandoned the Halos during SOO and JT. That's fair enough. Badonk says that Ramon, yes, I believe one of the CEOs had tested dark matter weapons on Aberdeen in an effort to help fight against enemy threats, but it went south and the moon kind of died. That is a very pea soup. There's a lot of pea soup there on that one. GG Gamer says, I'm subscribing to your channel just because you're a miner. We stick together. GG Gamer, thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. The likes and the subs really do help. I do lots of Quantanium mining. Julio says, do I have a video for the setup of a Prospector? Julio, I have lots of them, for sure. I mean, honestly, it's really simple. I would recommend an Atlas drive for quantum drive or a VK00 for short range jumping. Always a Lancet MH1. And then whatever you're comfortable with. I recommend Brandts, BRANDTDs for consumables. I recommend FLTR-XLs. When you get kind of used to those things, maybe a Surge or a Stampede if you want to try and crack bigger rocks. Right now, I have two VAUX C3s and a Rieger C3. But yeah, I do have, Julio, if you look through my channel, I definitely have some that are the setups for, and how to make money for prospecting for sure. Item says, I broke in over a 7K without cooldowns, but you have to move the laser around the whole time. And it took me 45 minutes of staring at the rock. Itemus, you're talking about agitating, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you absolutely can agitate and break rocks for sure. Badong says, I saw something about Aberdeen that used to be like an Earth-like moon before it went south. Oh, man. So it went to something really nice to something just messed up because of a bad weapon test. That's funny. Us miners definitely need to stick together, no question. Ninja says, I'm good sad about the org. Ninja, we can talk about that. I totally understand where you're coming from. That's a very fair point. And, I absolutely understand where you're at. Reach out to me in Discord and you and I'd be happy to chat with you about it. And see if there's something, some way we can at least kind of chat about it a little bit. Justin says, hey, V, getting to earn some of that payback money Hey, V, getting on to earn something. No problem. Just no worries anyways. Just enjoy your time. Julio says, okay, yeah, Julio, definitely check out. For sure, do check out. I have lots of videos on Prospector stuff. And if you have any questions, look me up on Discord. I am happy to help you. And I think you know that. Archer Drake, how you doing, Drake? Nice to see you. Salute to you, sir. Grifter says, as a caution, I've been doing player bounties over the weekend. Watch out, Lyria. Lots of minor hunters have been there lately. Yeah, I can imagine Lyria would start getting hot, as people are looking around to kind of practice their skills there. You should do a bounty hunting stream called Coffins and Coffee. Yeah, that's a great idea, Jag. I like it. Mauricio says, can I do an 890 mission with the Freelancer Max? I mean, for the fight outside. Is it able? I think you should be able to kill the ships outside with a Max. I don't think that would be impossible. Just as a thought. But Dog says, the Hurston guys are a bit messy, to be honest. I do enjoy a nice little holiday over Microtech. Fair enough. Envy says, I just started playing this weekend. I am terrible, but having a great time. Got a Nomad, been doing deliveries like a hero. Envy, that's a great way to start. You're going to learn a lot of different atmospheres, a lot about landing, a lot about taking off, a lot about the flight mechanics. Envy, you just keep doing those box delivery missions and that type of thing till you're comfortable with the game mechanics, and then you can step up from there. I think that's a great place to begin. Arctic Drake says, doing good. Glad to see you back. I'm glad to be back, Drake. It was a beautiful vacation, but I am definitely glad to be back, and I've got a few space bucks I need to make here for a while, so I'm going to be definitely doing a little bit of mining here and there and a little streaming along with it. So, yeah, I'm really happy to be back, and really was enjoyable time. I'm still going to be fairly busy in life. I've got some family issues that are, still taken care of, but, that's just life. It's not an easy thing, but you know what? We're gonna do the honorable thing and do what we can to take care of all that. Last PSA, some of the moons of Microtech have been taken over by mining lords looking for Q. They have aggressive escorts. I can understand that. There's first alarm, you guys. That's the first I've heard it. Certainly I understand that. There are definitely some mining orgs that have kind of a, they have Overwatch, and if you get inside their bubble, they're gonna pop it. Usually, hopefully there's some communication could be done there. Warrior OF says, Lyria still treats me well mining. I have a mole, but I'm able to solo most of the time. Cleo has an amazing amount of quant, but hard to mine. Oh, the wind on those Warrior, the wind. You've got to be a warrior if you're gonna mine in the wind of those Microtech moons, man. This crazy. I mean, those things will it blows you around like crazy. So here we're coming in here. I've got the VTOLs down, the gears down. Guys, we're just gonna kind of come in here, take it easy, no problem. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nothing crazy. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and set her down, real simple, and let it be beautiful. All right, and with that done, I will go ahead and do a post flight here, and off we go. Turn off the engines, and we'll jump on here. Grifter says, Envy, great way to start. Jaguar says, I liked your newest video. They should totally make a ship where's the designated room for the Nomad Master. Fair enough, Jack. Why we always get the least convenient hangar? Mauricio, great question. We do tend to get a hangar that's way off in the distance. It was a little weird, wasn't it? It's like, hey, the hangar that's the furthest one away, you can have that one. I know you've only got Quantanium on board, right? So that's funny. Enrique, nice to see you. How are you, Enrique? Welcome aboard the channel. Drac says, except nothing crazy means no booms. Yeah, I hear you, Drac. And Drac, of course, you guys know, is famously loves his explosions on the channel and is always looking for opportunities for me to blow up. And the Quantanium is, being unstable like it is can definitely cause some of that. So, all right. So that was a good run, you guys. That was a 30 SCU and some change. We've got that guy stored. Now we're going to run downstairs and we're going to throw that in the hopper. And we're going to head back out and do it again. This time I think I'll head over to CRUL2B. And we'll take a look around there and see how it's doing over that way. So the Halo was treated us pretty decently, but let's go ahead and throw this in the hopper, and then we'll deal with that next. So drinking a little coffee tonight. Thank you for the 28 likes, by the way. I really appreciate it. And you know, it's one of those things where you know, every like and all, you guys know how the algorithms work. The more you guys like and sub and hang out, the more people can come and hang out and kind of participate in the mining channel. And we've been very blessed to have tons of people who have you know, kind of show up and answer questions and are part of the mining community here. So we're going to go ahead and throw this in the hopper. Now, I did a couple runs last night that were pretty mediocre, to be honest. It is what it is, though. I mean, you just got to go with whatever it is, right? So here I'm going to go ahead and choose this. We're going to go ahead and throw this guy in here, Dynix Salvination. We're going to get a quote, and off we go. So yeah, last night, I mean, it was like a full run between two loads, but, you know, so we got about 60 in the hopper or so, not too bad. Roy M says, finally did my first mole mining run, my guy. Nice. First time I used the thing since I bought it today. Nice job, Roy. You know, it's never a bad idea, of course, to do a little bit of solo mole mining to kind of, you know, to get yourself orientated with, you know, how to line the ship up. I mean, positioning is everything. So it's always you know, it's always fun to do those for that. I remember when I first got my mole, I couldn't wait to take it out, Roy. I know exactly what you mean. Good for you. Great feeling. And we'll go ahead and drop this guy right there. Hey, what's going on there? All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite SCT YouTubers. So Griff, thank you so much. It's very kind. I really appreciate that. You know, Griff is saying some nice things about the channel, and that makes me really happy when people. I really just like it when, you know, I can just go do a little mining. We can have a little chat, and I can answer any questions about it, and off we go. So now just got to wait the 2 hours to see how much I made. Yeah, Roy, and of course you can always take a look at what your final yield is going to be and kind of times that by 88 minus a little fuel costs to get some projections. But you know what? It's always good. There's no better feeling, I think, that hauling all that Quantanium in and, you know, and making a few space bucks, completing the loop, you know, it's always a great feeling. So, all right, well, 30 SCU in the hopper so far, and that time we went to the Halo. This time we're going to head back over to CRU L2, but the B cluster. And so it's a little bit different. We do have to fly a little bit towards HURL3, or I think, what is it, ARC-L? Here, let me look. We have to fly towards ARC-L3 for just a little bit of time before we go. But let me go ahead and I'm going to do a bit of a pre-flight here. I always like to do this before I take off. Double check that, you know, we're looking good. I still have the Atlas drive on board. Looking good on the modules, and we'll just go ahead. We'll go with this again, no problem. I'll go ahead and pull the Prospector, and off we go. All right, CRUL1, out it comes. I'm the proud owner of a Prospector. Now, I've asked this question elsewhere, but what is the best loadout for a beginner miner? So let's talk about that, you guys, because the question has come up a couple of times, right? So if we're looking at the Prospector, let me go ahead and store it, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit, because it's really simple. Like a really easy, let me go ahead and I'll store this guy and we'll talk about it real quick, Ramon, for sure. It's a really simple, you know, there's not a ton to it. The most important thing, honestly, on your Prospector to begin with is having the Lance. If number one is the Lancet MH1 mining laser, that can be picked up at ARC-L1. That can be picked up in a number of places, but that's number one. That's the first thing you want. Then you need to decide. You can go with a couple of Brants. Like, you can go Brant, just as a basic vanilla, and then just call the Brants every time you have Quantanium broke down and it's unstable. The only other, I mean, and there are other ones you can get used to, FLTR-XLs. Right now, you can see I have VAU XC3s, two of them in a Rieger C3. These cost a little money. These are very inexpensive. They're like $2,500 each with 5 charges. So the last thing is the Quantum drive, and you'll want to make sure that you have an Atlas drive is the best all-arounder. A short-range drive would be a VK00 or a Siren is another one. You know, that's the basics. That's the best loadout for a beginning miner in my mind is an Atlas drive, is a Lancet MH1, and then 3 Brants. That's the best one. Hey, and so Mauricio says, hey, when the easy elevators are bugged, is there a walk around? I relog and I usually got the same server. I have to wait like 30 minutes. I don't know that there is. I think just server hopping, Mauricio, is the best thing. Rusty Long says, I hire a Constellation and fly my Quant to be sold. I find that people don't shoot at me as much when I'm in as much as when I'm in a Freelancer. Yeah, Freelancers definitely. I approach an Andromeda much differently, Rusty, than a Freelancer. If I'm out there thinking about pirating, one of them's a gunboat and one of them's lunch. You know, if I'm just being honest. You know, Item says my mole tip is this: fly about 2K above the surface so that the terrain doesn't load in. But the rocks do make groupings easier to spot. Most of the time, I can spot them before the scan resolves. Yeah, that sounds to me like you're doing some visual scanning. Looking for clusters, probably on Lyria Itemus. That's not a bad way to do it. Grifter says there's a few ways to get around the elevators. Grift, share with your elevator stuff for sure. To be honest, I just use a Lancet laser with no modules and I do fine. And Moonraker's absolutely right. You can use just a Lancet and do just fine. I do think having the Brants are cheap. And it's Alt 1, Alt 2, or Alt 3, depending on what slot they're in. So I think that there's nothing wrong with having a Brant, you know, and then, you know, just abusing them. You know, it just makes it much easier to deal with the Quantanium. But you're absolutely right. You don't need them. But if you're asking me, like, what is the most basic kit I take, it's an Atlas drive, it's a Lancet MH1, and it's 3 Brants, and I never look back and make all the space bucks in the world. Movies and visual effects. Welcome to the channel. How are you? PTU has finally fixed all the elevator issues, I am told. Forever. Look at this, you guys. What is going on with my Prospector? The thing is more and more... oh, my stars in heaven, this thing. That's so funny. We'll go ahead and jump up in this ship. Yeah, all bugs have been fixed forever in Star Citizen movies. Thank you, Space Shorts. Right, so the only major change I need to do is just change the quantum drive. I do have the Lancet and the Brants. Yeah, just an Atlas drive would be great. Or if Ramoyne, if you know you're doing short range jumps, a VK00, which could also be purchased at ARC-L1. Yeah, go Surge Stampede and Brant. Now, Surge Stampede and Brant's a little more of an advanced technique. Learning to surge in the Stampede method allows you to break much bigger rocks. And I don't disagree with that. I mean, some people absolutely love that meta. But it is a little more advanced, I think you'd agree, Rusty. Grifter says, I'm crazy man with the mining modules, Focus 3, Surge Stampede. I know some people that just don't like to waste time, Grift, and you sound like one of them. Ninja Slap says, LOL. Philip Hoffer says, you have to turn off your engines. I hear, Philip, I'll try next time. I turn off my engines every time, but maybe I'll just turn off everything. Grifter says, Focus 3, Torrent, and a Surge. Yep, that's the beauty. There are so many different layers there. Yeah, movies and such. So I'm told. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down, movies, for sure. That's really funny. I'm going to go ahead and get a repair on this guy, and I'll pull the door open. Now, we're going to head towards ARC-L3, but actually where we're headed, you guys, is CRUL2, the CRUL2B. But before we head that way, we need to clear the route, and we need to head towards ARC-L3 for about 1 million or so. And that's where we're going to head. We're going to head towards there, and then we're going to divert towards CRUL2B. 34 likes, you guys. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you tonight. Louis Rise says, I heard there might be a patch soon and work orders will be reset. Is that so? Louis, I have not heard that, Luis. I'm going to look into that, though. I mean, obviously, if there is going to be a patch, that is one of the things that can definitely happen when patches do happen. So I will look into that a little bit. I will admit, your valet parks weird. He does, Itemus, that's for sure. That is very true. He does park weird. But yeah, no, I will look into that. I hadn't, I was off last week. I was kind of out on vacation a little bit. And so I did not hear about the patch thing, and I probably should go take a look at, and see if there is going to be a patch coming soon and take a look at that. Craig Blair, nice to see you, Craig. Grifter says, to the man with the elevator issues, get it fixed. I hate when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Elevators, you guys have been famously dangerous in Star Citizen lately. But not so much lately. But I mean, they're grumpy in the sense that they don't necessarily work good. Craig Blair says, are there any events still active, Siege of War or something? I don't think so. I don't think they are. So, all right. So now that we're moving along here, what we want to do is we want to I'm going to head towards CRUL2, right? And I want to head towards the B cluster. So I'm going to double click here. I'm going to go to the B cluster. I'll set route. As soon as I can do that, I'm going to drop out of Quantum. And I'm just going to go ahead and and I flew a little further than I needed to fly, but that's no big deal. We just want to head towards CRUL2, and we're going over to the B cluster. The B cluster has Quantanium rocks in there. Your ship is a kitten that wants belly rubs. Yes, definitely. My Prospector definitely loves belly rubs. That's for sure. It's certainly jumping around in the hangar like a kitten. Moyne says, I think your Prospector is either catching a quick nap and you startled it, or a ship AI is doing something and I startled it. Yeah, something's going on, Ramon. I agree with that for sure. And it's funny. I'm curious, when are they going to add the whole bathroom mechanic? Yeah, Jag, that's a great question. Certainly nothing I'm in a hurry for, but, I mean, immersion being what it is, right? I'm not a big fan of the events. I always pull too much resources, and the Halo seems to get hit the hardest. I agree, Grift. I mean, it's at least been my thought that maybe the considerable amount of unscannable rocks has been plagued a little bit by the fact that there's so much resources being used up by the events. We'll have to see how it plays out here. Craig Blair says, long time no see. 317.1 had me game hopping a couple months. I understand that, Craig, for sure. Nice to see you again, by the way. Have you met someone in the Halo by chance? I've never met anybody in the Halo, Mauricio. Sometimes, org members or something who track me down. If you're in a place that has multiple elevators, keep trying to call all of them. Will normally fix and start working. Oh. If you have a place that has multiple elevators, keep calling all of them, and one of them will normally fix and start working. There's a tip right there, you guys. Captain's log, yeah. Can they fix the unscannable rocks first? I hope that they do fix the unscannable rocks. Captain's log. Ew. I think it was stored next to a really cute mole. And, yeah, that's exactly right. The Prospector was stored next to a really cute mole and was very excited. So I see what you're saying, Drac. So, all right, CRUL2-B, you guys. This is kind of a fun little side place that I like visiting. There is Quantanium here, and I've had pretty good success here. And one thing I do like to do, though, right off the bat is just reset my... I always kind of reset the CRUL2C, so that's going to be my quantum, marker that I kind of use as my directional marker, and I'll start heading towards it. And then we'll pull out the mining laser, and we'll go ahead and get this game going here. So, all right, lots and lots of opportunity markers right off the bat. There's an S-type. We're going to have some different types here, S-type. Let's see what we have here. That's an M-type. M-type. E-type. S-type. It was right there, S-type. All right, just kind of rinse and repeat. This is going to be us for a minute or two. Just kind of doing the 179 scan and then resetting them, and then just go ahead and prioritize the ones that are far away, because those are the ones you haven't scanned yet, usually. There's an M-type. Lots of opportunity markers here, though. 12.7. You remember, it's got to be within 12.2 in order to get a type if it's going to give you one. That's an E-type. That's an E-type. That's an E-type. That's an S-type. How do you know the types? Excellent question, Roy. So, Watch, if I do a 179 scan, like if you look at on the left-hand side of the UI, there's that number that's changing in big red. 179 scan, I'm going to send out a ping. That's going to give me opportunity markers. Then I'm going to collapse that number down to 2, and I'm going to scan, like send out another scan, and right there's the type that it's going to give you right there. That's what we're looking for. And we're looking for Q types, right? Q types are going to be the ones that have the Quantanium in it. And that's just kind of what we're after as a Q type. So you will have unscannables where it means you ping them a couple times and they don't give you any scan results. Just keep on flying. You know, those are going to be ones you're not going to want to spend any time looking at because they're not going to give you any love. Is Quant a certain type? Yes, Roy. It's called the Q type for Quantanium. The Excel sheet on his monitor, probably. Yeah, fair enough, Craig. Movie says it shows up in the right-hand menu. If you look close, I played 6 months before I realized that. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things. It's actually changed a lot over the, it's changed a lot, you guys. It used to be there used to not be like an active meta like this. So, just one of those things. It's definitely changed a lot, and we'll just kind of keep flying here. E-types are all Jaguars. Fair enough. That's so funny. I know. I see what you did there. It shows the info on the first scan. Of course, yeah, Roy, that's the thing. If it's not going to give you info back, then don't fly towards it, right? That's the whole thing, right? You don't want to waste your time flying around looking at every rock. You want to just go ahead and just roll it to a 2 degrees angle. Look, if you ping it and it gives you a type and it's a Q type, fly towards it. If it's not a Q type or it doesn't give you any scan results back, that's an M type. Don't bother flying towards it. It's just, you're going to just end up wasting some time. So that's kind of the idea. That's an S type there. That's an E type. That's an unscannable. And off we go. I've been waiting to go up to no, you don't have to go up and scan them. No, Roy. Yeah, I'm glad you asked, for sure. You do not have to do that, right? You just kind of go ahead and send out the original ping scan, get your opportunity markers, collapse the scan angle, ping over them again, and look at the type. That's an M type. Now, see, you can see this one. That's an E type. Sometimes they won't give you any information back. Like that's an E type, so, and if they won't, just don't even worry about it. Just keep on a trucking. That's an S type. And just rinse and repeat. That's not on the first. You need to dial your ping down to 2 degrees. Yes. It's really important to understand. It's over here, that 179 number, that big red number. I'm changing it from 179. That's when I ping out. You can see the big 179 on the left-hand side of the UI, and then I'm closing it down to 2 really quickly. And then I'm prioritizing the ones that are far away because those are likely the ones I haven't scanned yet. And when I scan them and they give me like a diamond marker back, but they won't tell me a scan result. See, there's no scan result. I'm not flying towards that one. It's just not, I know it's an unscannable rock at that point. I think I turned my gear. Yeah, if you're in the Halo and you pull out the mining laser and you aim over signals, it'll tell you the rock type. It doesn't. If it's a glitched rock, go find another rock. That's exactly right. Mass is saying is 100% correct. It's not rocket science. Wait, the entire game is rocket science by default. My bad. I like the movies. Nicely done. That's funny. E type there. All right. P type. That's an E type. That's an M type. All right, we'll reset again and head this way. How do you know when the prospector is full? It tells you, Ramoyne. As you're beginning to extract stuff, it will give you a readout of how much is on board, how much it's in the lower. It's on the right hand side on the lower part of the UI when you begin to extract. If at first you don't succeed, find another rock. Exactly, Drac. That's exactly right. Just keep on sailing, keep your head down, keep working. There's going to be lots of rocks you're going to come out here that aren't going to be scannable. There's going to be lots of rocks that, that's just kind of, this is the fishing part of mining. You're just out here casting until the fish bite, right? So that's what we're up to. Alrighty, that looks like an unscannable there. And what's this guy? Unscannable there. Clive says the largest Quantanium Rifok in the Halo was a 5600 mass and 60% quant. Wow, that's crazy. Now I think the biggest I've ever found in the Halo is 5122. That seems to be at least the biggest number I see, Clive. And I find them at around 49% is the highest I've ever seen them at. That's just me, but yeah, that's. Those are obviously, you find much bigger rocks on the moon surfaces, but you know what? The Halo does produce well. The Misk lady will yell at you at the end when it's full. Yes, she will. She'll tell you. That's funny. I like Lyria better. I can appreciate that, Wicked. That's cool. I like the Halo myself a lot, but lately there's been a lot of unscannable rocks, so... I don't mind using the Halo either. I love the Halo, but I absolutely love Lyria mining as well. And I do wish that there were some other, moons that, I will go to other moons like Daymar or occasionally or some other place. Let me just hit those one more time just to double check. Only found one, took ages. Gotcha, Clive, no problem. Max rocks in the Halo are 5122. That's been my experience as well, Rusty. For sure. All right. That's awesome. A lot of unscannables here, and that's okay. They do run in bunches. That's an M type there, no problem. M type there. I found a 5800 once, but it turned out to be an AMDC. That's hilarious. That's funny. It turned out to be a Nomad, it sounds like. That's hilarious. All right. Hand mining at Kudra or on Daymar is not an unpleasant way to spend a gaming session. It's not. I like hand mining. I think hand mining is fun. It's not super profitable, but it's a super fun gameplay loop. And I hand mined for a long time. Like, I hand mined enough to be able to purchase my ROC back in 311 or whatever, Remoy. It's fun, it's absolutely super fun to go hand mining. All right, you guys, we're gotta keep putting our head down here and keep the nose of the grindstone and see if we can't get a Q type to pop up. As you can see, lots of unscannables. That's a pretty common thing here. And I think this has been people's chief, the biggest complaint I've had on my channel as far as Quantanium mining goes is it does seem like the number of unscannable rocks is increased significantly. And I don't disagree. I mean, I was, just me calling it as I see it. I don't, I understand where people are coming from. I've noticed an uptick myself, and I was hoping that it was going to be more because the events. There's an E-type. We're going to keep on trucking. I like to crack the 8K racks with my Prospector. Yeah, I definitely, Wicked, during 3.17.2 PTU, got out a whole bunch of the mining gadgets and did some big breaking. I actually broke an 8300. I think it was a pretty good percentage of Quantanium as well. with by agitating with a whole bunch of mining gadgets on it. It was funny. Unscannable rocks are 48% quant. I wish, Craig. Hey, Jazzy Cat. Hey, there's Q-types right there, guys. So Q-types are right there. Let me go ahead and let me just pull into a 90 scan. Once you see them, if you then just change it to a 90 scan, it will actually, keep the opportunity marker out in front of you. Daniel Masson, nice to see you as well. Nice to see you, Jazzy. How's the Halo mining been? I've gone back to Lyria of all the unscannables. Takes me 30, 40 minutes plus to find rocks. I understand where you're coming from, Daniel. There's lots of unscannables, and I've been kind of talking about it tonight a little bit. It's a thing for sure. There's lots of unscannables. I'm over here at CRUL2B. And we did all right. I think, we found, it didn't take us a terrible long time. But, there's a ton of unscannable rocks. There's no question about it. Stanton SC says Halo mining isn't too bad. I typically spend about 15 minutes till I find a good enough rock. That's not, I definitely have had issues like that where kind of right off the bat I find pretty decent ones. That's a blue cap there, a 2%er. What about this guy here? That's a 24%er. I guess that's probably worth mining. Not the greatest rock on earth. It's probably going to be a 20 SEU, 20, right in that area. But you know what? Not all of them can't be. Unis or anything. One thing that helped me was knowing the mass times 2% equals cargo space at 30. Yeah, or 40-40. Moonraker's another way. Like 4,000 mass at 40% is 32 SCU. That's another kind of base number to help you. Stanton used to have an extra planet. Used to till I mined it to dust. Yeah, remember when I forget. You guys, let's go back. No wonder I wasn't seeing some things. Let me get this head loosened up here. This is going to be a fairly easy break here. Yeah, remember when that other place was there? I forgot the name of it. Hey, Chris. Chris is what up, my peeps. But it's in Nyx. It's going to be in the Nyx system, ultimately, I think. And disappeared right before they put Crusader in. I hear the Master Chief likes Halo mining. Yeah, Halo mining is all right. I like Halo mining, you guys, for sure. 38 likes tonight. Thank you so much for all the likes. I really do appreciate them. And we're just tearing it up. I refined... Delamar, it took weeks. Yeah, it's Delamar. That's what it was, movies. I forgot. I used to really like mining around Delamar. I thought it was fun. And it was a really quick jump to the, to the rocks there. Bexar! Hey, Bex, how you doing? Nice to see you. How you been, sir? Bex gives everybody a salute. Grifter says, is anyone who's on Lyria Friday night and got shot down by an arrow? I was there and got him back. Oh, nice, Griff. Ramon says, at Craig. Blair, Papa Chris needs to optimize what he gives us. Yeah, fair enough. Halo is the best place to mine if you don't want anyone to find you. Anonymity is one of the nice things about the Halo, for sure, Grift. I agree with that. All right, you guys. Absolutely beautiful here. I'm falling back a touch. Keeping it right in the optimal range. It's a 1.45 instability. It's not terrible. All right, good break. Griff says Halo's the best place to mine if you don't... Yeah, Mr. Space Shorts, do you use sticks to fly or... I have a hybrid model, right? I have Vkbs that I absolutely use to fly around with, but while I'm mining, I actually use the mouse and keyboard. So I kind of got used to mining with the mouse and keyboard. It's one of those things that's just, I enjoy. But whenever I go ahead and do a lot of flying or any kind of combat or anything, any kind of flying really is with sticks. But yeah, that's how I do it. It's a bit of a hybrid model, and Works really good for me. But I think it's just kind of a throwback to when I got used to mining in the game when I only flew mouse and keyboard to begin with. Another good tip: make sure to wear the arrow helmet hazard so you get the yellow markers. Excellent tip, absolutely excellent tip. So that's 38% there. There's 85% in this one. There's 4% in this one. So I think that's going to be us. That one doesn't have anything. That one doesn't have anything. So let's break this. Let's break this 4%er first. And this won't take long. Nimro Gaming, welcome to the channel. Just bought the Prospector. I'm going to be doing my first mining run tonight. Before I get started, which non-consumable mods do you recommend for it? If you're talking non-consumables, I love the Vkbs, Grift. They are fantastic for the money. They're absolutely my recommendation for the money. So Nimrog, my recommendation for non-consumables would be this build that I have here. It's 2 VAUX C3s and a Rieger C3. It's a great, you get a couple of additional knockdowns on instability and a little bit wider optimal window. So what you see here, the VAUX C3s, 2 of those and a Rieger if you're going to go completely non-consumables. I also do, with consumables, I like 2 brands and an FLTR-XL. But this is what I like right here. WKDs are fantastic for the alcohol content. Recommendation, that is. Mining modules are very subjective. Yes. I agree with that. I mean, everybody loves their own meta with that. And I respect that. I love the fact that you can have all sorts of different choices with that. I do. I think it's great. Well, Ramoyne says, I'm not getting bad frame rates with my GTX 1050 Ti, but I'm looking forward to my new Yes, you're going to notice a big improvement with the RTX 3060 with 12 gig of RAM. Yes, Ramoyne, that will make it will make a big difference. Clive Hughes says, how hard are sticks to get used to at the moment? I'm starting using X52 Pro Throttle and stick. You know what? 2 sticks, it just takes a little while to build the muscle memory, Clive. I think it's great. I love it. It makes a lot of sense the way that the axes work. And, I definitely used to be kind of a stick and throttle kind of guy. Ooh. That jumped out of there just a touch. Let me kind of, there we go. Try and keep it honest there. Breaking this 36%er down. Hey, there's a ship, you guys. It's kind of weird. That is so strange. Oh, I'm in CRUL 2B though. Yeah, I'm not in the Halo, so it does. Yeah, very well could be a ship there. I have a 3060 Ti and still get FPS drops. Oh, you'll get FPS drops, but it'll be certainly smoother than a 1050 for sure. I have a 990 Super and I am a Future 2087, and we still know. Fair enough. I like that, movies. 5700X, 1 SSD, 32 gig of RAM, 3060 Ti. That's good stuff right there. I mean, a 3060 and 32 gig of RAM and a terabyte SSD. And a 5700 is a decent CPU. I think you're in great shape, Grift. So I have read throttles better when mining. Definitely people do like throttles when mining, for sure. So I dropped this over to 10%. Just I'm going to let it fall out for a second and finish the decay out. And then I'll pump it back up real quick. And then we'll push it back in there. And see how we do. This is a bit of a rodeo at 2 instability, but not too bad. And there's not a ton of SCU in this. I use sticks to fly, mining, I use the mouse. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Griff, for sure. My video card is a sad joke compared to most of my USC, but it's good enough. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Drac. I mean, obviously, we all work with what we have, and it is what it is, right? in that capacity. And RTX 30 series are starting to get a little are starting to get a little more easier to come by. That's for sure. Yeah, all right. Let's take a look here. Grifter says, surprisingly, there isn't much out there for stick setup and key bindings. You got to feel what's best. I agree with that. I mean, there are definitely people who really like on their throttles the different movement things for the mining operation. Craig Blair says 5900X, 32 gig of RAM, 4 terabyte NVMe, a Citrix or Styrix 3080. You get frame drops. It's going to happen for years and years to come. Yeah, that's a nice system. I mean, a 5900X and a 3080 and 32 gig of RAM and a nice, a nice fast drive. And I mean, it is what it is, you guys. I mean, we're all, the game is not optimized, and I think we all can, all can agree to that. Drac, I'm using an RX 570 up till a couple months ago. I hear you, Nate. I had a 1070 that I was using myself before I jumped to this 3070. And the 3070 I use now, I play at 1440p, and it does a really good job. That's a 71%er. That's probably good enough, basically enough for me to grab. Yeah, that's got nothing in it. I knew that there was only about, a little over 20 SCU in this guy anyway, so let's grab that 71%er. We're getting north of, 20 SCU, hopefully. Right around that area. All right, so those have nothing in it. That's got nothing in it. That's got nothing in it. That's got a little bit of Quantanium in it. Not a lot of. And that's okay, because I thought one of these had a little bit more in it as well. Yeah, this guy's half Quantanium. So this will get us up to a 22 SCU or so. Mining is not dramatic. The rocks don't shoot back, but it is relaxing. It requires skill, so definitely not boring. I agree with that, Ramon. It's very relaxing for me. There's a 24 SCU run. Mining's like fishing. I do it to relax. That's why I do it as well. This isn't, you can't beat two NVIDIA Titans. Nice, Dan Smith. I see you there, Dan. Welcome to the channel. We need Vulcan. It's the only logical, yeah. I see what you're movies. I see what you're up to there as well. That's funny. So right now, when you're leaving CRUL2, you got to head towards HURL3. So this is it's an interesting little situation here because we got to fly past Crusader. So we'll go ahead and do that first, and let's work our way over towards Crusader. No, I just went ahead and grabbed sticks, and now I've gone from using mouse and keyboard to sticks, you guys. This is kind of what we do here. So we're going to fly past Crusader, and then we'll recalibrate, heading where we're heading. I like my mole. I can mine from a safe distance. Yeah, that's very fair. I like that, for sure. The thing I keep forgetting when going to the Halo is you actually have to manually stop. You do, Moon. That's for sure. That is funny. Vulcan is only logical movies. That's so funny. Most stick setups and keyboard keybind videos I see are for the Virpil. Just too much for my wallet. I'm saving for some pedal script. That's the thing, right? When I got these Vkbs, I said to myself, if I felt like I needed to invest in the Virpils, eventually I would. I don't think I'm going to need to. These Vkbs are good enough for me. They're very, very good. I've had them now for almost 8 months. I haven't had to change any springs in them. They're just like they're just like the day I bought them. They're great. Griff says, when I had face surgery, I couldn't wear headphones or earbuds. Overcharged a few rocks. Hurts to do that. I can appreciate that. And let's just make sure we're... All right, so we are. Let's go ahead now and reset here. All right, so we'll go ahead and drop out. Boom. And we'll go ahead and head over towards CRUL1. Notice we're pretty close already. We're spooling. That's the beauty about the Atlas. It is fast to calibrate and spool. I never said mining was safe, says Ramon. Yeah. Craig Blair says, sorry, where was I going? Is that HW really isn't too important so long as you can run it. Super specs or budget build, you're going to hit bugs. Have fun no matter what. Craig, you're absolutely right. That's what I mean. All of us have to kind of deal with what we have and just enjoy it as much as you possibly can. Understand you could spend $1 million on system and you'd still have frame drops and things not working right. Star Citizen's not optimized, so it is what it is. Just kind of enjoy the game, 1080p, 720, 1080, 1440, whatever you can, 4K, however you guys want to enjoy the game. I agree with that 100%. Grifter says, oh man, Vkbs, I swap my springs and re-grease while they are so smooth. Yeah, I need to do that at some point, Grift. I just haven't felt obligated to do it yet. Movie, so sorry, had to. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, you can see the Atlas Drive, boom, it just over and over again recalibrates and kind of respools, and off we go. Now, pretty common thing to have happen. I know you can actually look away and look back there. I don't, I just kind of respool and off we go. Big difference between brake, rock, and SC and pop a cord ED is in ED. You get the core set to blow. You best be a cam or more from it, or you may find yourself, yeah, fair enough. I play 1440p with my 1660 GTI and 32 gig of RAM. Yeah, that's 1440p is a really happy medium for sure. If you have the monitor that can do it. Griffith says, no, I had an incision that ran right next to my ear hole, so the headphones smashed into it and hurt. Earbuds pushed up against the incision. Just hurt for about 2 weeks. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Griff. That's crazy. Oh, sorry, I cannot be... Oh, movies. I picking up what you're putting down. I appreciate the fact that you're having some fun with it tonight, movies, for sure. Please do you, movies. I'm enjoying your humor tonight. Clive says, how much do Vkbs cost at the moment? I think, Clive, probably around $350 to $400 shipped for 2 sticks that are the premiums. Premiums are $165. The shipping sucked. About $400. Yep. About $400 and all for 2. That sounds right to me. Is what Grift is saying. I have been given a stick called the Phantom Hawk. Does anyone here know? Oh, I've never heard of that one, Ramon, myself. I play 1080p, just sit closer to my monitor. Fair enough, movies. Oh, you guys, 42 likes. Beautiful night so far. Second run, Quantanium run. We're on our way in, and I am just kind of approaching the station now. I'm going to call for a landing as soon as I can, and we're going to get this guy landed and go from there. All right, we called for a station. I have the gear down. I have the VTOLs rotated. And off we go. I'm going to bring her on in here. 46 likes. 4 more likes and we'll have 50 likes, you guys. And not too bad for a guy who's been gone for 10 days. I haven't streamed in a while. It's so nice to be back with you guys. I kind of miss streaming for sure. And hope to be doing some more of it, get back up to that 2 or 3 times a week, is what I'll be looking for in the future. So, all right. So we have not heard first alarm yet. The first run we did was a little over 30 SCU. This is like 24 SCU or 20, I think around 24 and some change. So not a bad run so far. And we are just heading in. Come on, guys. Let's hit 100 likes. Wow, that's... Movies is ambitious tonight. I'm just happy to see, a few people watching tonight. To be honest with you, movies. I was, like I said, I took a little break there for a little bit. And I, was a touch quieter. It's just nice to have people who are along tonight. And I really appreciate everybody who's stopping in and hanging out. And we'll go ahead and bring this guy down. In we go. That's first alarm just happening now for the first time. So we're in great shape. We're just going to bring this guy in. And just set her down nice and easy. That's the most important thing. It's just to kind of bring her down, set her down just how we want her. Love it. We'll do a little bit of a post-flight here. That's fantastic. Turn off the engines. I'm actually even going to turn off the power this time. And I'm going to back out and let's see what we get. 52 likes, you guys. Wow, thank you very much. That's awesome. For any possible VKB purchaser, I went this way. Omni throttle left with the adapter to change it from upright. If I wanted premium right. Yeah, I can understand that, you know, having the Omni throttle for sure. Just too good to pass up those extra springs and replacement buttons. Grift, I did the same thing. I bought kind of the replacement pack in case I needed them. And it's so awesome that they offer that stuff. Drax says, at Remoyne, the Speed Link SL6634 at Hannum Flock flight stick appears about half between a Thrustmaster and a Logitech X52. Interesting. I had not heard of that particular stick before. I'm going to have to check that one out, you guys. That's cool. All right, down we go. I'm going to have a sip of coffee here. Got to be fast now. The elevators are quick. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and store this Prospector. Second good run of the night. Can't have any, no complaints about that. Got that guy stored. Let's go down and throw this stuff in the hopper. Damn, floating ship's bane of my existence. Never heard of that stick. Neither did I, Grift. Neither did I. For sure. All right, down we go. Into the refinery. You on that black coffee? Grift, actually tonight I actually had a touch of a mocha creamer that I tossed in there. Tossed into the old black coffee and just thought, I'll have a little bit of cream in there tonight. So, enjoying that. Movie says, you guys spend more on joystick suspension than I spend on my Suzuki DR650. It's true. I mean, there's a lot of like gadgets about to make that stuff. Hey, Juan Carlos, how are you, sir? Nice to see you. It's going really well. I was on vacation. Now I'm back, sir. I hope that you're doing well, Juan Carlos. Nice to see you. Stan says, heading out soon. Gotta go to bed. Working AM. Hope the stream goes well, my guy. Good night. Stan, thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Great to see you. Please come back again and hang out with us. Griff says, I like my coffee more than I like hot ice cream. Yeah, I love coffee's just it's definitely a part of my definitely a big part of my program for sure. All right, so we got a little, that was, and a little bit of borase. So we'll definitely do the borase as well and do the Dynex solvenation. We'll get that quote going and confirm. And we've had a couple of nice runs so far tonight. So, we've got 53 or so in the hopper. Wow, found a group of 9 rocks, and only a good one was a 46-31 at 29%. Moon, I've definitely had that issue before. On my way to Grim Hex to improve my shields. Mauricio, nicely done. Juan Carlos says, good one. Rusty says, I don't like the look of the Phantom Hawk. Oh, I'll have to check it out. Jazzy Cat says, where do you pick up your non-consumable modules? Well, you know what, Jazzy? I picked up, I think 2 of them are here, right? I think let's take a look. I think I bought 2 of the, let me look here. Utility? Yes, I think I bought the Rieger C3 here. And then I bought the VAUX C3s over at Port Alisar. So that's where I got those, Jazzy. The ones that I'm using right now. Grifter says, I could cream and sugar the hell out of it. Yeah, that's what I did tonight. I don't know why. I just kind of went with a little bit more of a cream-based coffee tonight. A little more creamy than normal. Yeah, most of the Lagrange point stations have them. I forgot the name of the website. Yeah, it's true. You're gonna find most of your modules are gonna be at either dumpers depots. One of them is on Port Alisar. One of them is on Area 18. There's also your Shubin Interstellar on Microtech is going to be, and then all of your ARC L1, CRU L1, the refinery shops are all going to have those types of things as well. So it's going to be in one of those places, generally speaking. And if it's a specific one you have a question about, I normally know where they're at. So you can just go ahead and ask in the chat. All right. I don't think I ate that. Let me go ahead and try again here. Where is the caves where you can take a rock for mining. You know, you have to get, Gigi, you have to kind of get the certain cave missions. The one thing I will say is that you can't take them in, yeah, Tammany Sun's on Lorville's another place. You can't take them into the cave as far as you'd think. Like, you know, there are some caves that allow you to fly ships in and drive the ROCs in there a little bit, but it's not they're not huge like they're probably eventually going to be. Could maybe use in a place of the throttle side of the HOTAS, don't get me. Yeah, that's a lot of people like, you know, instead of 2 sticks, a lot of people have a stick and a throttle, or, you know, you done, or V still going. I'm going to do one more run, I think, Sandy. If, you know, I think had some good success. What do you think about that? 56 likes as well, you guys. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I think we're going to head out and do at least one more run. Maybe head back over to the Halo. Bexar's asking if I've had any 30Ks tonight. Not myself yet, Bex, thank goodness. Bex, have you had a 30K or two, or what's happening there? So here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Let's take a look at the Prospector. Astroman says stick and mouse for me. I can appreciate that. Grifter says, you can't take a rock there. I use the ROCs to mine in between cave missions respawning. 2 sticks and pedals. Rusty, I need to check out the pedals. Just jumped in server if you need me for anything. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. Is there maps for the caves, internal maps? I mean, I don't think that there are maps for the internal caves yet, Mauricio. That's a great question. Roy says, sorry, my wife called me when you were explaining types. Ella watched when I left off. Thank you for the info. I did not know any of that. Roy, I'm happy to help, and no worries. Real life goes first, brother, for sure. Happy wife, happy life, right? I use Logitech X52 HOTAS. Drac, Drac, that's a great stick. I mean, I have no problems with that stick at all. I think it's good. No internal maps. You can use flares. Heading down to Orison for some parts, but I'm in the server as well. Thank you, Macedon. You know, and yeah, by the way, Cousin Crows has tons of the stuff as well. Flares, I only wear boot cut jeans. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, we're going to head out one more time, and we're going to go back over to the Halo and see how we do. So, let's go ahead and 2 this morning, Bexar says, 2 30Ks. Both times right after I started cracking a good quant rock in the Halo, gave up mining. Oh, sorry to hear that, Bex. No, it's been pretty, I mean, knock on wood. Let me find some here. It's been pretty good for me, sir, you know, so far. I haven't had any yet. Sandy Claus is Mass. How you doing? So, nice to have Sandy and Mass aboard. Guys, Sandy Claus has been doing some, you know, in the Explorers League chat. Sandy Claus has been doing some heroes work on trade, understanding kind of where to buy things, where to sell things on trade. Really knowledgeable on that side of things, and you know, and Sandy does make some content of his own as well. So definitely, wonder if this Prospector is going to do any leaping, jumping. No, it's not. I did turn off the engines or turned off the power and everything last time. I wonder if that's the trick. I have to maybe think about that. Stanton SC says, I'm pretty good about not overheating rocks, but I've been using the Focus 3x2 and a Torrent 3. Thoughts? You know what? I have not tried that one myself, Stanton. Excellent question. I should probably check out. I have other people who have talked about that exact build before. And as long as you're, you know what? That's the beauty. If it's something you're comfortable with, keep it, man. It's great. I think that's the most important thing. If you're comfortable with it, you know, Sandy Claus says almost as good as mining. Yeah, it can be for sure. Trading, especially when you know what you're doing. Movie says never played Warhammer at all those. Yeah, Warhammer's has lots of 40Ks, a lot more 40Ks than 30Ks in Warhammer for sure. I see what you're doing there. Watch out for the jumping Prospector and Saber can get yourself killed, busted head or busted leg. You're right about that, Grift. That's for sure. All right, so we're gonna head over to the Halo one more time tonight and see if we can't get lucky. Absolutely. Focus is resistance and Torrent is laser power. Both increase in stability. So, Stanton, are you doing a lot of Quantanium mining with those? I mean, obviously, if you have a steady hand and you're patient, that's the most important thing to have. You know, is to be patient and steady. Stanton explains he explaining what the build does. Yep, resistance. All right, you guys. So we know ARC-L3, we're going to drop out 11.5 or 11.4. That's where we're going to drop out. So right in that neighborhood. So we're going to spool up and off we go. Guess for bigger rocks. That makes sense. Yep, and that would make sense that it's a little faster as well, for sure. Sergeant Gully says, quick question. Are there guides on getting into a vehicle mining? I got a Cuddy Black and want to use it as a mining transport as well as using my Prospector. Yeah, I mean, Sergeant, if you watch our channel, there's lots of how to use the Prospector guides for sure. And then, we do a little bit of ROC mining here, but also Starstreams does tons and tons of ROC mining if you're planning on hauling an ROC with your Cuddy Black. But yeah, I mean, if you look here, if you come, Sergeant, like, sub, hang out around the channel here, we have lots of videos on how to use the Prospector properly. And I think you can definitely learn the entire Quantanium mining loop if you just kind of hang out around the channel and ask any questions that you have. Freelancer Max is also an excellent transport ship. I think if you're streaming and reading comments, reducing instability is the way to go. Yeah, that's exactly right. Rusty's on to me, right? I definitely use the meta that reduces instability because my eyes do tend to wander over at the chat. And I gotta, there'll be a lot more explosions if I didn't reduce the instability quite a bit more. That's definitely goes into my calculus, Rusty, for sure. That's so funny. All right, so we're down to 12. Remember, we're going to drop out of 11.5, 11.4, right in that area. So here we go. It's dropping into 11, 7, 6, 5, 4, boom. All right, so we're just going to go ahead here. We are going to turn up the speed just a touch, the velocity just a touch. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull out the mining laser, and we're going to roll forward to a 179 scan, begin moving forward. I used the Cuddy for a while. Freelancer Max is my go-to for queue hauling. Yep, I did the same thing. Now, I use the Freelancer Max, you guys, a ton. I mean, I definitely, well, that's interesting. Get any pings at all. 179. I wonder if I've hit a 30K. That, we'll have to find out here in just a sec. Not seeing any pings at all. Now, it could just be some server instability, but I may have 30K'd here. Which, if I did, I picked a good time to do it. I wasn't, in the middle of cracking anything. But I'm not seeing any ping markers at all, which is weird to me, right? Let me go ahead and just do a 360 ping. Oh, there's one. All right, so maybe there's just nothing around. That's funny. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. Great for hauling ROC. Yep. And there's nothing wrong with when you first have a Cutlass Black and just doing one-to-one Prospector runs. That's fine. I had to put on work for my Raft. I love that ship. Yeah, the Raft is a great ship. Aesthetically, I love the Raft as well. I do hope that the Raft gets a big a bonus when the external cargo becomes a thing. You guys, what the heck? I'm barely getting any pingbacks at all. Ah, there's one there. All right. Keeping me honest here. That is a cluster. It has not given me any... That's a lot of rocks down there. Just kind of pinging it, seeing if it might. But nope, nothing there. We'll keep on moving. Somebody called ahead and told the rocks you were coming. They must have, Drac. That's crazy. Isn't that weird? I very rarely have a situation where there's hardly any opportunity markers at all. There's a bunch now. That's funny. All right, the server's starting to wake back up, I think. And as we collapse on this guy here, let's go ahead and see if we see anything. Yeah, this is pretty common. We see this a lot where there's just lots of unscannables. This is what a lot of people have been talking about. This has been kind of our fate, with 317.2, is the fact that there's just lots of unscannable rocks, a lot more than there used to be. And I was hoping that was kind of because there were events running, but, that it's, I'm not sure those things were tied together, as we kind of progress in this. So we'll have to kind of just see if things start getting better. Hey, Tolga, welcome to the channel, Tolga. Tolga says, new here. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you. Clive says, can we go out mining together when you get some free time? Of course, Clive. Look me up. I'd love to do that. for sure. Grifter says, anyone have any opinions in the cat? I was thinking of getting crazy. Yeah, you know what? Caterpillar's a great ship. Go for it, Grift. I think the cat's a fun ship. When the modularity comes, it's going to be an awesome ship. Some of the modules they're talking about that thing having and are crazy. And getting used to flying it now, and kind of, it would be a great idea. There's a P-type right there. Not what we're looking for. We're looking for Q-types, remember? That's a P-type as well. Sergeant Gilly says, looks like I'm going to have to invest into a Cuddy Red. Then thanks. I would mostly solo mining in the rock. Yeah, Cuddy Red's got great scanners on them, and work just fine as rock haulers. Tolga, once again, welcome to the channel, truly. Mass says 2444. That's a lot of work to risk an entire cat load. Yeah, it is. There's a lot of work to fill a cat, you guys, and you know I like to. Boy, about the Taurus, the 174 SU that the Taurus hauls is about the most amount I think I'm willing to risk when I try. You know, I don't want to lose a week's worth of Quantanium. You know, if for some reason something sideways happens. Now, different people feel different about that. You know, I that's just kind of my own thoughts on it. I have some UEC saved. I'm not worried about it. Plus 3 to 6 months, it's going to wipe anyways. It's true, for sure. You can get a rock and a red. You absolutely can get a rock and a red, Sandy. Now, you might want to park it forward. And then have yourself, when you kind of get out of the chair, you go right out into the area where the beds are at. If you catch my drift, you can drive it straight in with those, and have those, because there's that back section that's kind of walled off a bit, but you can drive it straight in and then get out directly into the area that's where the two beds are at, and climb back in it. Yep, you can get your rock in there for sure. Tolga says, thanks, mate. I just looked at your videos. Apparently based on Star Citizen. Seems interesting, man. Thank you, Tolga, very much. Yeah, that's what we do. A lot of Star Citizen content here, for sure. And, really enjoy Star Citizen. It's kind of my game of choice right now, for sure. All right, you guys. We're seeing a lot of unscannables here, but no big deal. This is just the way the Halo's been lately. We're just going to keep digging it out. Now remember, at 12.2 away is where you can see the, where you can get the scan results. When they are going to give you scan results. Set up a hotkey for open all doors in the Cuddy Red. You can paste the ROC. You can then get past the ROC to the open ramp door. Yeah, you can absolutely do it. I mean, you can definitely. I use the ROC a bunch for ROC. I use the Cuddy Red a bunch of times for ROC mining. It works fine. It does take a little getting used to. It's not the same as a Cutlass Black. It does take a little bit of time to get used to, but it's absolutely a doable thing. That's an M-type. That's an unscannable. This is an excellent game for sure. Just subbed, by the way. Thank you very much, Tolga. I really appreciate that. I was definitely hoping to pick up a few subs tonight, so that makes me real happy. I can't thank you enough, sir. If you have any questions about Star Citizen, we'll be happy to answer them for you. And yeah, enjoy, for sure. All right, you guys. We got lots of unscannables here, but we're trying to make the best of it. That's a P-type. That's an E-type. Those are E-types right there. It really is, Tolga, says Matt. Selling 1 million quant right now. Haha, sweaty time. Yeah, it's always a little sweaty when you're hauling in that much Quantanium, for sure, Sandy. I know exactly what you mean. All right. All right. That's nothing there. That's a P-type. That's an E-type and a heck of a nice E-type cluster, to be honest with you. A lot of pingbacks there. Single rock, not being cooperative, so we're just going to keep on flying. That's a P-type there. Well, I'll keep moving. Kill Switch Gaming. Do you go out in the mole at all? Yeah, all the time, Kill, for sure. We use the mole a lot. For a lot of times on nights where we have, you know, a group of us mining, we use the mole primarily as an extraction device. But from time to time, we love getting in the old mole and going out there and doing a little mining for sure. So mole's a great ship, and we absolutely have a lot of respect for it, and it makes us a lot of money. Tolga, don't let any bugs or glitches frustrate you. Yeah, that's the one thing, Tolga, we should always mention. I mean, Star Citizens, it's an alpha. It's not a complete game. It's full of bugs, and you really should always go into it with it's not a polished experience at all. That being said, it's it's very much very fun to play. And it definitely has its moments where you get a huge laugh here and there, but it's not a polished game for sure. My last trip to sell, I got pulled out of Quantum. Yeah, that happens for sure. Always a little sketchy when it happens. Kill Switch says, about to buy a mole. That's awesome, Kill. I think you'll be happy with it for sure. I believe this can't be worse than H&J. Is that Heroes in General, Tolga, that you're talking about? No, it can't. It's definitely not worse than that for sure. Grifter says, oh man, I sweat hard when I get interdicted. Yeah, Grift, I know what you mean. I do too, That's when you like having something like the Taurus or something that's got a little bit of shields, a little bit of firepower. All right, you guys, we're seeing a lot of unscannables, but that's just kind of part and parcel with the way that the Halo's been lately. So we'll just keep our foot on the gas and keep moving. Moonraker says, now that sucks. Had a load on the board and landed at the station all fine. First alarm started. I was exiting the ship. Got to the terminal. Suddenly heard boom and ship's now destroyed. I've had that, Moon, a few times where I didn't think I did anything wrong. And I definitely still ended up losing the load. So that is a thing. It's happened to us before. And, it looks like it's happened to you as well. The only thing I can say to that is it's a hard thing to do, but you just got to shake it off and you go right back out there. I've never had it happen to me necessarily twice in a row, but I definitely have lost a load or two like that before. V, what's the FPS? What's your FPS on Halo? Oh, let's take a look here. So let me hit R tab 4. Let's look here. I don't know what my FPS is here in the Halo. Good question. It looks like it's 36 or so. Not great. I mean, honestly. Tab 0. Yeah, 36. That's 36. Awesome SU. All right, twice as many unscannables on Lyra. Yeah, Sandy. Yeah, it's the unscannables have been kind of off the charts lately. I think everybody comes to the channel lets me know that, and I have experienced the same thing for sure. That's an E-type. M-type. Unscannable. That's a P-type. Unscannable. This one is a little bit too far away. We'll go ahead and scan them now. Unscannables. That's why my hauler's the MSR. No need to fight, just full throttle. Helps against NPCs and players. The quantum interdictions can't keep up to speed. The MSR is an awesome Quantanium hauler. You never think to yourself when an MSR is passing by, hey, I think there's that guy's Quantanium hauling. But it's got 114 SCU can haul. So great ship, MSR, super fast as well. So dealing with quantum interdictions is just a matter of putting your foot on the gas and speeding on out of there. I understand exactly why you choose that ship. It's a great ship for Quantanium hauling. R-Type classic 80s arcade game. Yeah, that's exactly right. You know how all the unscannables are quant. Yeah, I like to think that. Grifter says, Sandy, where are you at? Tolga says, I have zero experience with Star Citizen. I'm not on zero knowledge level, but for sure this is going to be my first time to watch it. Glad you're enjoying it, Tolga, for sure. Jag says, does anyone else's PC sound like a jet engine when SE is running? Sometimes, for sure, if it's warm out. Not really that upset. Wasn't that great of a load. Really just, yeah, hear you, Moon. Stanton says, I put so many quarters in that. Ocean, welcome. Hey, how you been? Unscannable Roids, again, I see Space, Hope, Coffee, and Quantum are good for you tonight. We've done pretty good, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we've definitely seen a lot of unscannable rocks, and it is definitely happening. So, we're definitely going to have to keep grinding it out here to find some Q types, and that's what we're up to. We're just trying to find a couple of another Q type here and keep ourselves honest. But there's a lot of unscannable rocks. There's another one. There's another set. And they run in bunches, you guys. It definitely does happen. I definitely tend to find that they run in bunches, and we just keep our foot on the gas, keep moving. And sometimes we'll do a mini jump if we have to, and we might. Drax says, I dream of using the A2 Herc to haul a rock around and deliver my refined product. Yeah, or occasionally dropping the boom on something, Drac, for sure. Greg Blair says, got 2 of the big crates in the airlock area, 2 ROCs in the back. Yeah. The big crates are nice to have. That's a P-type right there. We'll keep on moving. Andrea says, most pirates don't bother while playing cat and mouse. I really hope distortion weapons stay useless for a long time if it makes escaping fly away possible. Dolga says, movies and visual effects, I feel the same. Also very friendly community in here. Yeah, there's a community here is fantastic, Tolga, for sure. Let's see here. Rusty says, telling you it's an asset streaming issue. Fair enough. Yeah, no, it very well could be. I mean, and they're changing maybe some fundamental back-end tech. It very well could be something like that. There's been some kind of a change, and it doesn't like the, obviously there's a lot with persistent entity streaming coming in 3.18. Who knows what exactly kind of precursor work that they've done, and maybe some of it is causing some of this issue as well. Hard to say exactly. That's an M type there. We're going to keep on sailing. What was this one? I think it was an unscannable. All right, we'll keep on cruising. The Ocean says, was posted on the update for the coming G patch and PTU, but it seems more like an issue on persistence than trying to narrow it down will take time. I don't disagree with that. Roy M says, the unscannable rocks suck, but it was a great break from all the shenanigans that happened from the... Yeah, no question. I mean, there was, we definitely needed a patch for sure, I think is basically what Roy's saying, and I don't disagree with that. Movie says, ask for help anytime. I agree with that 100%. If we can help, if any of us can help, just go ahead and ask. Grifter says, I haven't gotten an Ursa. Yeah, Ursas are fun, you guys. I don't necessarily own one either, but I've had a lot of fun driving one. Hey, Citizen Ryan, nice to see you tonight. How have you been? Macedon says, Ursa's great. Citizen Ryan says, what was your first ship and how did you first fall in love with mining? Well, that's an excellent question, Citizen. So, my first ship that I got was a Cutlass Black in 2014. I did the Kickstarter for the Cutlass Black. And then like in 2016 or 17, I logged in and I was like, wow, there's a hangar. You can actually hang out in the hangar, and then I just logged back off. And then about almost 2 years ago now, I logged on at Obsidian Ant video, and he was like, hey, there's game loops now in Star Citizen. And so I logged in the first time. I think it was 3.11. I had the Cutlass Black, and I think they were giving away, at least as a flyable thing, is the 100i. And I could not figure out VTOLs with the Cutlass Black, so I started flying around with the 100i. Just adored that ship. And I started doing I started doing box delivery missions. But eventually I decided to go hand mining in caves because the only thing that was persistent in the universe at the time was the backpack. So if I flew to caves and mined Hadanite and put stuff in my backpack, if there were 30 caves and the game crashed, I still had what was in my backpack. So so that's basically what I did. I just kind of, that's 16.4, that could have been a ship. And so yeah, that's kind of how I handled that. Is I would just kind of hand mine and stuff my backpack and stuff my backpack and stuff my backpack until I and there'd be a 30K eventually. It would crash. There's an E-type. And then I'd wind back up at Port Alisar, but I'd have a backpack full of hadonite, so kind of a good gig. And then eventually I earned the ROC and started using the ROC with the Cutlass Black, and off I went. So that's kind of it. Yes, good weapon, zero sign means small signature. Yeah, under 2K IR. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, you can put 2 S4 lasers on it. Brutal. Wow, I didn't know that. On the Ursa? Are we talking? I didn't know that. P-type. So anyways, yeah, that's my mining story. I know. Yours says, my buddy would love to use that while I rock mine. He isn't on very often. Looks like a good fighter pilot. Excellent BF tank driver. He might like that. Yeah, it's just, ground vehicles are fun for sure. Pretty sure if you 30K, you lose the hadonite in your rock. Yes. It's not, well, it depends. There is supposed to be some 30K persistence. I guess I've never tested it specifically to the ROC. But I thought there was supposed to be 30K protection, so. Has 2 size 1 turrets, so probably can. That's an M-type right there. Nothing on that guy. Nate says, just found a 4931 at 30% after a sea of blue caps all night. Good job. Nicely done, Nate. Grifter says, sometimes 30K you lose, sometimes not. Yeah, it's whether or not that kicks in, I guess, is what you're saying, Grift. Ocean says, it's the new AA turret one I think about. Yeah, that one is called the Centurion, I think. There's the new one that's got the size 4 guns on it, I think is what it's got. Ooh, that guy can lay down some damage for sure. That's a P-type. Hey, finally a Q-type and a couple. Yeah, boy, that was a long haul for Q-types. Now, just because I found Q-types, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something to mine there. We'll just cross our fingers. But finally to see some Q-types here, and we're moving in on them, and we'll take a look. So notice I went to a 90 degree, like a 90 angle scan. That just keeps the opportunity marker out in front of me. And I don't fly right at it, right? I fly left or right of center so I don't crash into the rocks. 4 size 4, same turret up front. Yeah, it is crazy for sure. That thing's got a lot of firepower. That's not going to be a great rock. It's not going to be, this is probably going to be like a, hard to say. Not going to be a great rock, though. Yeah, that's a blue cap 2%er. What about this guy? 4931. This might be okay. 24%er, 4931. Yep, probably about the same as we had last time. Mid-20s SCU. You know what? We won't walk at it. Now, I will reposition a little better. Let me swing around this way. I definitely want the sun at my back. All right. Not a great rock, nothing to write home about, but you know what? It's definitely one that we're going to mine because it's, it's over 20 SCU. Let's go ahead and turn this over like this and kind of keep our UI over on the dark side. Love it. We'll go ahead and crank up and let's get started here. Dan Smith says, so I'm in the market for a heavy fighter. What would you recommend? Excellent question, Dan. I think like a Warden or a Sentinel, Vanguard Sentinel or Vanguard Warden's a great choice right now. I think that those are both in really good positions. Dan, that would be my suggestion. What do you think about that, Mass? Ocean says 2x2 and the AA on the other side of the missile, aka more points is the best ace, and it JTs most of the ships. Yeah, it is an interesting new guy for sure. Yeah, my buddy likes to mine with me if he gets bored and wants to do Overwatch in a fighter. He isn't a very good pilot. but he's really good in BF games. As a tank driver, I think I may get an Ursa. Something fun to get for sure, or just get him a tank. You know, nothing wrong with that. No, those things hit like a truck. As a little tip, only the mole turrets with the mining lance up with the Prospector can scan at range to peek the rock type. Yeah, the mole doesn't have the same scanning capabilities from the pilot's chair, because you know you do get in order to get the distance scans, you have to and get the scan results at a distance, you have to be in a mining laser. So really, if you're gonna solo mole mine, I would suggest Lyria, because then if as you kind of do your scans, if it's anything more than 2 rocks, it's always Quantanium. So I would strongly suggest, if you're going to solo in the mole, that you solo on Lyria, just because the scanning meta there. Yeah, either the Warden or the Sentinel. Yes, I would definitely think the Warden or the Sentinel, and I probably, myself, would probably lean towards the Warden, but I would not, you would not find me ever arguing against the Sentinel. Tumbrel Nova, he will feel at home. Yeah, there is a tank. Solo Mole is dead. Then it's not dead. It absolutely works fine on Lyria. If you go and scan rocks, anything more than 1 rock is always Quantanium. And so it's not dead, you guys, but it's just one of those things where in the Halo, it's not going to be as, you know, it's not going to be as easy to locate Quantanium rocks, and it's already a bit of work right now. Warden or Sentinel for sure. If you do group VHRTs, they just chew right through them, almost anything. Yeah, Griff, I agree 100%. I think the Warden is in a really good place right now. Of course, the Sentinel's great. Points to Space's comment just now, mole works, just take extra steps. Once you find a rock, more of a visual identification. I don't disagree with that. I mean, you can fly, you know, listen, if you enjoy solo mole mining, solo mole mine, please do. Understand it might take you a little longer. Who cares? Just as long as you're having fun. If you like the fact that you're solo mole and all of a sudden you run into 2 or 3 rocks that you could, you know, get yourself 60 or 70 SCU, do it. Absolutely do it. I mean, there's lots of people who come to my channel and absolutely adore solo mole mining, and I think that there's nothing wrong with solo mole mining. The scanning meta is a little bit hard in the Halo, but you can absolutely make it work with visuals or, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Can the Nova engage fighters? I have never messed with any good ground vehicles. The Nova absolutely can shoot a fighter. I mean, it's not going to be easy to do. But it absolutely can do it, and when it does hit a fighter, it's going to hurt bad. I'm glad I have a friend with a mole, and we go with him, and another buddy says Stanton SC, once we find a rock with 3 lasers. Yeah, that's exactly right. The mole will absolutely make short work of anything it runs into. I agree with Stanton for sure on that. Movies and visual mole, just exit pilot, drop down ladder outside the door, and you're gold. Yeah, that's true. Ocean, if you can get the Slayer cannon on target, most mediums ship some, 1 or 2 shots. I don't disagree with that. Doe, yes, has just got here. Did a like. Thank you, Doe. Nice to see you, Doe. How have you been, man? I was on vacation last week, but I'm back. C2 Nova meta. Yeah. The C2, and yeah, I mean, the Nova tank can just basically brutalize things. It seems like we were I did a video not terribly long ago of us messing around with some of the tanks, and they hit like trucks. I mean, they hit like absolute trucks for sure. Someone's an 890 Joe, 2 Novas on top. Yeah, I like those 890 jumps that have like it looks like with the tongs on top, and they look like battleships. That's awesome. I try solo mole mining, but haven't learned it enough to learn how to set it up, even though I finally got one. Yeah, listen, I mean, I do think you're better off in a mole to have a couple of people, even if you have a couple people flying out there. Like if there's 3 people and you have a mole and have the other 2 pilots fly as scouts, prioritizing finding the things to mine, then bringing the mole there, landing ships, and just having them jump in the mole at that point. Nothing wrong with it, you guys. It's better than having, if you have 3 people that are going to go in a mole, it's better to have 2 scouts and a mole, and have them all flying around looking for something to mine. And once you find something to mine, have the mole collapse on it and the other ships collapse on each other, and then just land the mole and have the pilots jump on board. Prioritize locating stuff to mine first, because the mole can absolutely make short work of stuff. Craig says, had a ballista in my C2 with a couple of buddies when pirates came. After we jumped out, then we bombed them with the ballista. We had the ballista shooting out of a C2 once too, or maybe an M2. It was hilarious. We're kind of using it as like an air-to-air style defense thing with the doors open. I shot down a Gladius and a Sentinel with the Nova tank. That's awesome, Mass. I mean, if you happen to hit those things, you will smoke them for sure. 65 likes. Thank you guys so much. And a lot of subs tonight. A lot of likes and and guys, I really appreciate it. That rock finally broke. To do that, I'll have to find some friends. Hey, Moon, come hang with us, Moon. You can come anytime you want. Oh, look at that. It's a little bit of lag spike there. No big deals. You guys could see the lag spike. It took a while for that rock to break. And we'll just go ahead and get this guy going back up there again, and off we go. Yeah, look me up on Discord, Moon. You can come hang out with us anytime you want. Answer says, by the way, all freelancers have a secret. It might look like a metallic toy for the ladies. Yeah, that's... I hear what you're saying there. That's so funny. Movies and Visual says, I left my Nova tank. Oh, my eyes are wandering here. Let me kind of get back up into the green. 20 meters from Jump Town Depot once, and everyone behaved for hours. Yeah, that's funny. It's because you're the best patient. Thanks, Grift. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you, sir. Oh, what's that? Yeah, all right, cool. We're just breaking down the rocks we can here. We know this is only going to be around 20 SCU when we're all said and done. It wasn't a great rock, but you know what? Not every single time you go out you're going to get a unicorn. We had a nice 30 SCU run and then a mid-20s SCU run. Maybe a 23 or something, and this is going to be kind of a lower 20s as well. So not a bad night still, though. We're not doing too bad. So whenever you can get out there and get 50, 60, 70 SCU in a couple of runs, nothing to sneeze at. New goal, load a Caterpillar with Merlins and traumatized pirates. Yeah. I love that idea of having those Merlins or the Archimedes being kind of pocketed, inside a C2 or an M2 or a Cat, and have it kind of unload them. And hey, this big old rock's got to turn over here and get us a little contrast. 48% SCU there. Oh, yeah, this guy's jumping around a little bit. Looking good so far. Even more fun for when cargo's physicality. Load with bio waste and wait on the pirates. Yeah, that's hilarious. I can't wait to see what kind of fighting there's going to be around the jump points of pyro. Oh, I know, Grift. It is an interesting question. Grift, I was actually hoping that there's going to be occasionally, maybe people locate some unstable kind of jump points that have kind of a shelf life, so there's not just always one jump point in and out of there. But we'll have to see how all that goes for sure. It's an interesting thing for sure. How that's going to work out. So, yeah, I just texted my son there. I can hear my beagle is grumpy to go outside, and I asked him to take her out. So, he's going to do that for me. 40 Merlin swarm from the bays. Exactly, Craig. Yeah. Crack a pillar. Yeah, that's exactly right, you guys. All right, so let's start beginning kind of the scooping side of this situation here. That's a 52%. And we're going to look for something that's got some high percentage in it to begin with. There's a hundo. We'll take it. Item says, I think an appropriate buffer mole would be the deployable ground scanner that instantly shows the content of rocks on the ground in an area. that would balance it better. Oh, I don't mind that idea at all. I think that would actually be kind of fun if it had a few more tricks up its sleeve, is what Itemus is saying. That would be kind of cool, and I'd be amenable to that for sure. Dustin, welcome to the channel. Eve has temporary wormholes. Yeah, I would love for there to be some kind of temporary wormholes that, that scanning ships can locate. Maybe they, you can only go through them so many times before it collapses, type thing. That way, you have a couple of different ways maybe into the, into Pyro, so you're not always flying through that one thing, but who knows? I mean, I hope that they have those. I think that would be awesome. Eve Online went woke. It's Adam and Eve Online. Oh, my stars. I haven't played Eve in a while. That's an 81%er. I think there was like a 90. Yep. So we got some good percentages here, and I'll come back to them in just a sec. I just want to kind of get through scanning all these. That is 100% quartz. That's 100% inert. Oh. Lots of inert there. What's this guy here? 4% there. And nothing there. All right, so we have some. Let's take this 93 first. People just camp. Yeah, that's what it'll be interesting to see, like, if there's no kind of, when you first come out of jump through the wormhole, if you're immediately being attacked or whatever, there's going to have to be some kind of a wait state or something. Dusty says, what does that even mean? Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure I know either, Dusty. I wish I had more juice to my PC to do video capture. Hold on one second, you guys, if you wouldn't mind. I'm going to put you on. Yeah, all right, I'm back. I just wanted to chat at my 12-year-old for just a second, have him let the dog out. I took care of that business. We're back at it. Yeah, there's a lot of low percentage rocks in here. Let's see. There's a yikes. There's at least a 50. Let's grab that guy. True Moon says, I fear the problems we'll have jump points when we were having such problems with elevators. It'll be interesting to see. Of course, there's a little bit of a gameplay associated with going through those wormholes as well. So that'll be interesting to see how all that goes. That's a 4%er. 4%er. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Nothing there, nothing there. What about this guy down here? That guy. What has he got in it? Hidden back there, a 44. We'll take it. My GTX 1050 claims it can stream at 1080. Yeah, it probably can. Movies. You should give it a try. 28% are there. We're over 20 SCU, you guys. Just breaking 21 SCU. And this is what we knew was kind of going to happen. This is probably going to top us off, and we're going to be maybe just shy of 22 SCU. There was a 12%er there. Not a whole lot left here for 1%er. You can see this did not break up very clean, a 4%er. So, we did what we could with that one. Not a terrible run, I mean, it is what it is. All right, there's the Dream Station there. I'm going to go ahead and pull back. We'll go ahead and spool the quantum drive. And off we go. Movie says, God! That's hilarious. Off we go. Griff says, I'm really not happy with the changes to SPK. I got so many stupid 1 and 2 crime stats. I really don't want to have to get vaped on my way to get into the CS down. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, Griff. I'm willing to give it a try, and hopefully that it will, it'll be okay. But I understand what you're saying. Dustin Lessinger says 2060 super handling, 238-inch curve, 33. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That 2060 super is working hard, Dustin, but you know what? That's really cool. Actually, mine is a mobile version, so maybe the desktop variant can swing it, says Craig. Oh, that's interesting. Movies and Visual says it would be, I think, magical since the game runs 25 to 30 all day. Yeah. Bexar says, wish me anti-30K like going to try quant mining one more time today. Bex, I got you, man. You're not going to hit any 30Ks. Knock, knock, knock. Hopefully you'll have one more awesome, you'll have an awesome run. And will not 30K. So I know you've had 2 today. You're at your limit. You can't have any more. That's awesome. So you guys, 66 likes. Thank you so much for the 66 likes. I truly do appreciate it. We are heading in now. We're going to drop this guy in the hopper and kind of go from there. So CRUL1, we have not heard first alarm yet. This one was kind of a yucky. This one kind of broke yucky. The first time we were out, we did a little over 30 SCU. The second time was a mid-20s, and this is just a touch lower. It's still going to be 70 SCU. May Papa Chris be with you, Bexar. Yeah, it's exactly. Do a dab, try again. Yeah, it's exactly right. A little dab will do you, right, Dustin? That's awesome. 68 likes, you guys. I can't thank you enough. For somebody who hasn't streamed for a little while and then didn't advertise that I was going to be back streaming, keep in mind we are going to be doing the ship giveaway soon. I know I've been saying that a little bit, but I am back from vacation, so I'm going to get that sorted out. I will be posting a video on what night we'll be streaming the ship giveaway. But please do. It's going to be an Avenger Titan starter package that we're going to be giving away. And sometime here in the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes open for that for sure. I am going to do a video that announces the date that I'm going to do the stream. And I think the stream is going to be on a Saturday. And we're just going to go ahead and pick somebody in that particular, who's on that stream to get themselves a starter pack. And so that starter pack was graciously donated by Tina Peterson, and I wanted to pass it along. So Avenger Titan is an awesome little ship. I agree, Grift. It's a great starting ship. It's got a little bit of everything you need to get started in Star Citizen, including some decent firepower as well. So, all right, gear and VTOLs are out. We're going to kind of speed this kind of guy up. We're going to come in here at a reasonable clip, around 300 or so. And as soon as we can, we're going to call for a landing, and we're going to go ahead and drop this guy in on the pad here. So happy to be back and hanging out with you guys. It is wonderful, wonderful time tonight, and we're going to take this load in and drop it in the hopper and take a look at some numbers as well. So cruising on in here. Take my foot off the gas a little bit. And as soon as I get the red right there, I go ahead and call for landing as soon as I see the please contact. And it's usually down that way I tend to find, so start making my way that way. We have not heard first alarm yet, so we're in great shape. Turning on mining mode, and you should have the timer telling you how much time you have. Yep, that's absolutely one way to do it. Right now, it says, I think it's like 8 and some change. Been fun, dude. Thanks for putting... No, movies. Thank you for hanging out tonight, for sure. I really do appreciate, I've enjoyed your humor tonight. Please do come back and hang. Honestly, we're a really open community here, and really, I enjoyed your company tonight, for sure. You guys, it's been an absolutely lovely night. I have just enjoyed it. Space Shorts, you come in much more patient than me. I floored about 700 to 800 until I hit the light. I would do that, Grift, but I would then fly into the station. I get sometimes over my skis kind of chatting. And so I've kind of learned to just kind of slow and steady wins the race for me. Because I definitely will crash if I do that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm bringing it on in here. There's first alarm. That's the first we've heard. And this is pretty common, especially when things didn't break up that clean. First alarm. We're just taking it on in. I'm just really easily here. It's just in we go. We're going to set her down nice and easy. GG Gamer says, anyone know how to keep track of the timer when you're in the mole? Not really from the pilot share. You can ask the people who are mining. That would be one way. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And we will kind of turn off everything and out we go. Movie says, I will return. Grifter says, this is the best streams and the best guy and gals in chat. We're really blessed, for sure, Griff, to have an awesome community, really great people that come and participate and try and help people out. Craig Blair says, Space Shorts super chill. I definitely really appreciate all of you guys coming and hanging out. And, you know, Quantanium mining, it's never been lost on me that Quantanium mining isn't the most, you know, high-octane content. So we get to kind of be chill and drink a beer or have a coffee and chill out. And yeah, it can get explosive. The goal is to not let it be explosive. When the mole starts beeping very angrily, you have very little time left. That's how you know. Yeah, it's true. You know, that's not untrue. All right, we'll go ahead and store this guy. Perfect. And let's go down and we'll put this guy in the hopper. We'll go, once we put this in the hopper, we're going to take a look at the numbers that we've done tonight and talk about how much money we made. 70 likes, by the way. Very much appreciate that. Item says, our Moonraker says, this has been great fun. Now I just need to figure out Discord so I can actually get together with some of you guys. Yeah, well, Moon, we can help you out with that for sure. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, Discord, and you know, we'll get you squared away with that. You need to install Discord, look me up, and then we'll get you moving along. The worst boom I have done, bounced my Prospector off the landing pad with only a minute or two left. It would boom in the hangar grift. I've done the same thing a couple of times. One time, Drac would remember. I just flew directly into the station, blew it up. The community on these streams keeps me coming back. Everyone is awesome. If there's only an org. There was only an org to plug that mirrors the attitude of the stream. Nate, you know, look me up, sir. We can talk about that for sure. Great community here. By the way, you guys, Macedon, I should mention, he's always, whenever he can join our stream, he does join our stream. You can see Macedon's name there. He does fantastic Star Citizen content. Teaches you guys all sorts of different things. So make sure you do like and sub on Macedon's channel as well. Great guy, somebody who I very am blessed to be able to fly with. And so definitely check out Mass's content. Doe says, I got one of those hourglass type timers. I flip it over and the sand does 50 minutes. Nice job, Doe. That's a good idea. Clive says, Moonraker, I'll mine with you anytime. I'm the same way, you guys. Drac laughs. Griffer says, I'll mine with anyone. Yep, we're that way. We're not, there's nothing pretentious here. We'll go flying with anybody and have a great time. So, you know, look us up. We're happy to go mining with you for sure. Dustin says, supposedly if you can get impounded in time, you can still sell. Yeah, Dustin, sometimes I land on the wrong pad and just force them to impound me. Toasty says, only just got here. I'm not too late, right? Well, Toasty, I'm sorry to tell you, I am doing final numbers for the night. You know, but you know what? You can go back and watch the stream. It was a great stream. Macedon says, thank you guys. Item says, I pulled my mole into the hangar with no warning lights. Upside down last week, realized I just fell out of the sky and onto the pad. That's all. I did the same things similar to that. It wasn't upside down, but it wasn't good either. I installed and I'm in the group. Not just sure where to go after that. We'll take care of that, Moon, for sure. Hang in there. All right, you guys, let's talk about final numbers. So the first thing we did was 3027. The second bit that we did was 2308. And the last run was 2133. So that's 7468. 7468 times 88 is going to be 657,000 AUEC. Now, there's, of course, a little bit of overhead with that, you know, whenever you are doing a little bit of cargo hauling, there's some overhead and that type of thing. But we made 657,000, you know, more or less on the stream tonight, which isn't too bad. It was, Tolga says, nice to meet you. Shorts, peace out for now. Take care of yourself, Tolga. Item says, now I look for the lights in the hangar. Yeah, that's exactly right. Dustin says, recovering flip chips is fun when you hit the artificial gravity grid. It is. So, guys, tonight, this is the time of the stream when I have to just thank you all. And I have this thing that I love to say, which is the coffee was fantastic. It was really delicious tonight. The Quantanium was great. You know, we did 70 SCU in 3 runs. We can't complain about that. But the conversation was hands down the best. You guys who come here and participate in the channel and make the community what it is, I can't thank you enough. It's a blessing to be part of such just honorable, good-hearted folks. The community here has always just been a super big wind in my sails. And I can't thank you enough for being here and that type of thing. So it's not lost on me. It's really, you know what? It's really awesome to see you guys. Thank you. I know that I don't advertise when I stream. I'm not on a regular schedule, so it's always a blessing when 40 or 50 of you come out and join me for a mining night. I just can't thank you enough. Thank you all. Please do take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And I will see you all around the verse.